Hi everyone, my name is Heather Jones. I'm the #1 intuitive teacher, and I thought I would go on live a little bit tonight and talk about the 7 keys of truth. So I'm just coming on tonight, seeing how everyone's doing. You guys, my name is Heather. I am the #1 intuitive teacher, and I thought I'd get on this Sunday night and just see how everyone's doing. See, for those of you who are new, if you have any questions about the truth code. So I teach the 7 keys. So key #1 is, you guys, we have been lied to. Hey, Meggie, vent, ask. Have you been on one of my lives before? So I'm just here to answer anyone's questions. Hi. So if you do have any questions about the truth code, or you just want me to tap in, you guys, tonight is all about just helping you guys out, seeing where you're at. First time, I love it. So I teach the 7 keys, you guys, the 7 keys of truth. That will unlock everything. So key #1 is your body literally speaks to you through pain. Your body literally speaks to you through pain. Pain is the secret language of the body, and we have been taught to silence our pain. And when we silence our pain, we literally silence our truth. And so if this is the first time you're hearing that, most likely you've been dealing with pain, chronic pain, inflammation. And when you are dealing with pain, you go to the doctor and the doctor says everything's fine, but the pain you're dealing with is spiritual. The pain you're dealing with is caused from emotional trauma. It's caused from generational trauma. It's caused from absorbed energy. It's caused from demonic entities or unclean spirits. It's caused from something past life. Hi. So if you guys are brand new here, I teach the keys, the 7 keys, every day. I wasn't going to come on today. Today's like my day off. But I thought I'd just come in and see who out there is dealing with chronic pain, or maybe you just want to share your experiences. So the keys that I teach you how to unlock truth. I teach you how to unlock your truth. Because the truth is, the reason why we are such a sick society in America right now is because we are dealing with so much trapped emotional trauma, so much trapped generational trauma. We are dealing with spiritual warfare, so unclean spirits, demonic entities. Question, I was born CP and always in pain. Yeah, so Cardinal, what is CP? I am breaking my generational curses and I have anxiety disorder, PTSD, but I'm healing over 10 years. Yeah, so you guys, I teach a system. I usually come on here and just talk about the 7 keys. And how to unlock your pain in seconds. In seconds. But how do I deal with getting enraged? So if you're upset or enraged, okay, there's an emotion there that needs to be processed. So if you have chronic pain, always tired, you guys, I have a free guide. I teach the 7 keys of truth. Key #1 is your body literally speaks to you through pain. So therapeutic, witchcraft. I do not do witchcraft. What I do has been proven by science. So key #1 is your body literally speaks to you through pain. Key #2 is you might have something physically wrong, okay? So you might have a parasite, a heavy metal, a toxin, or a nutrient deficiency, and you can know exactly which one. I'm not used to coming on here in my pajamas. So the truth is you can know exactly what is going on with your body, and your body literally tells you. So for those of you who said, I have chronic pain, I'm enraged, someone said CP, I'm not sure what that is, but your body started out totally healthy and fine. And then one of the keys, right? Maybe it was a trapped emotion. Maybe it's emotional trauma, sexual trauma. Do you guys know that 1 in 4 are sexually traumatized in America? 1 in 4 women. I'm pretty sure it's the same with men. Men just don't talk about it as much. So if you had any type of trauma as a child and you haven't healed or processed that, okay, that can show up as physical chronic pain. Key #4 is generational trauma. How many of you guys have had parents in the war that were also abused? So my dad's dad, they all served in the war, military men. Severe PTSD, severe trauma, alcoholism. So then when I was born, guess what? My dad used to beat me. Physical trauma, okay? So I had physical trauma and sexual trauma as a child. And when you deal with chronic pain and chronic inflammation and chronic symptoms and chronic headaches, a lot of times those are something spiritual. So how do you heal? First, you have to recognize that you have the power to heal. And your number one power is through recognizing the secret language of your body. Recognizing that pain is actually telling you what's wrong. But we go to the doctors and the doctors say nothing's wrong. Or they tell us to take a painkiller or to mask our symptoms. So if you have one of the 7 keys, and I'll go through those really quickly. Key number 1 is your body literally speaks to you through pain. It is the secret language of the body. We've been lied to. We've been lied to the day we were born. We've been told to silence your pain as quick as you possibly can, because they knew if they silenced our truth, they would keep us sick and needing other people to heal, which is the absolute lie. You guys, I come on here every single day and help 9 to 10 people go from a 10-10 pain to a 0 in minutes. My family, all military and just as normal as anyone, home full of love and caring. That's amazing. That is amazing. I'm not saying that you have to serve in the military or have family in the military, but when you have people like my great-grandfather who served in Vietnam and saw some pretty crazy things and didn't have the emotional tools or capacity to recognize or heal from what he saw, okay, those things are very traumatizing. And multiple generations were in a lot of deep war. Generational trauma also looks like my mom being sexually traumatized as a little girl, and her mom being sexually traumatized, and her mom being sexually traumatized, okay? You can have something passed down generationally, hexes, curses. And I tell you these things because I spent the last 10 years certifying over 9 holistic modalities, spending over $15,000 certifying in all these modalities to try to heal myself, only to realize that we always had the answers. That if I just learn how to listen to my intuition, if I learned how to get my yes and my no, that I could literally release my pain in minutes. So I teach the 7 keys. When you have the 7 keys, that's all you need. If you don't believe me, stick around, because in about 20 minutes, I'm going to do one-on-ones with people who have a 10-10 pain, and we'll get you to a 0. Thanks, Nay. We'll get you to a 0 in minutes. What are the 7 keys? Okay. Key number 1 is your body literally speaks to you through pain. Pain is the secret language of the body. When you start listening to your pain and you start masking it through painkillers or drinking or binge eating, right? We've been taught to push our emotions and our feelings down, especially when it comes to our past and our childhood traumas. Meggie, I'll do you first, babe. So we'll work with you first. Key number 2 is, yeah, you could have something physically off, but it's either going to be a heavy metal, a toxin, a parasite, or a nutrient deficiency. Thanks for the crown. Because when you fix one of those things, it helps with everything else. But which one? How do I know? Well, I have charts in my $27 guide that shows which heavy metal, which toxin, which parasite, which nutrient deficiency. Because the truth is you don't have to play a needle in a haystack guessing game. You do not have to guess when it comes to your health what is wrong. So in seconds, and I'll show you tonight, in seconds I'll show you how to tap in to what, if it is physical. If not, it's going to be emotional, trapped emotions. Okay, that's key number 3. Key number 4 is generational trauma. You can have things literally passed down from mom and dad's side. I'm not a scientist. They've literally, proven this through epigenetics. Next key is absorbed. How many of you guys in here are empaths? You feel people's energy. You take on people's energy if it's your own. Lots of people. Lots of empaths here. Yeah. So do you know that you can take on people's energy from a very young age? So I was working with a client. Yep, look at all these people. I was working with a client, okay? We used the 7 keys. She had extreme chronic pain, back pain. We used the 7 keys. Thank you, body, for speaking through us through pain. We're not going to silence you anymore. Key number 2, was it physical? No. Was it emotional? No. Was it generational? No. Was it absorbed energy? Yes. Was it hers? No. Then we ask, whose is it? It was mom's. Okay. Do we need to know more? Yes. Was there an accident? Yes. Do we need to know more? Yes. How old was she? She was just 6 months old. Okay. So then she calls her mom and she said, hey mom, did something happen when I was like a baby? And she's like, yeah, I was in a car accident and I thought I was going to die. Like, how did you know? Okay. So when you have the 7 keys, you guys get my free guide, because this was half the battle learning these keys. I wish somebody gave me these keys for free. Then I certified in a program called Innerwise through Germany. He teaches us how to get answers in seconds. So I took his course and now I can test yes or no in seconds. Hey, Ty. So what does that look like? You ask, you receive a yes or no. Every single time you prayed for God to help you or to answer a question, every time you prayed for truth, do you know that your body literally spoke to you in a yes or no? Hey, Denise. Do you know that your body literally speaks to you a yes and a no every single time you ask a question? But we have been silenced since we were babies. We've been silenced by our parents. We've been silenced by our teachers. We've been silenced by our coaches, by our priests, by our pastors, by our prophets. Okay? Only listen to me. I'm the one that knows everything. But the truth is that you've always had the capability and the intuition to know what's wrong. So if you have physical pain right now that is a 10-10, I promise you it started way back when. And your body told you, hey, there's something wrong here, but what did you do? You took an ibuprofen or a Tylenol, or you silenced it. Because you silenced the messenger. And you silence the messenger longer and longer, guess what? The messenger is going to get louder and louder until you finally listen, until you're forced to listen. So this guy that I learned testing through, intuitive testing, so guess what? He was upset. He was a doctor. He was in the field of medicine. And he was so tired of having to use all these machines and these fancy equipment to be able to help people. And he said, God, there has got to be a better way. And guess what? God answered him, there is a better way. You are a literal instrument. You're a literal instrument, and your body can test exactly what's wrong. 99.9% accuracy. Thank you. So what did he do? He took his patients. He tested them in the system that I teach you in my $27 guide. He tested them, then got labs done. Guess what? 99.9% accuracy. You can know. And he proved it. So when you have the keys and you can start getting your yes and your no from your body, you can know exactly what the root cause, and you can heal yourself in seconds. Do you see how I said you can heal yourself? Because I am a healer, I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, I have all the spiritual gifts, but they're for me. Yes, when you give me permission, I can tap into your energy and get downloads and all these things, but why wouldn't you want anyone else to do that? Don't you want to do that for yourself? Like, don't you want to have your own answers and your own healing? Aren't you so tired of seeking external validation from doctors and from people who know nothing about you? And aren't you tired of being gaslit for your pain that you've been dealing with for years? Because I know I sure was. Do you know I went to the doctors because I was having severe migraines, 3 to 4 migraines a week. I literally thought I was dying from a tumor. So I went in, they did tests. They said, oh, everything's perfectly fine. All my labs came back fine. They said, you're just suffering from migraines. You guys, migraines are not normal, okay? I'm going to tell you that. Chronic pain and inflammation is not normal. So they gaslight you and make you feel like that's normal. Just take some painkillers. Yeah. So lo and behold, we're going to talk about the next key, the spiritual key. Okay, I was coming down with a migraine and I didn't have my routine. Who here has migraines? You have a routine. I had 2 ibuprofen 800s. I had a Tylenol 500, an ice pack, a Coke in my dark, quiet room for 3 hours minimum. So I reached out to a friend. She tapped in and she said, Heather, you're being attacked by legions of entities. So that's the spiritual key. High levels of cortisol causes inflammation. Yes. What causes high levels of cortisol? Stress. What causes stress? Unhealed trauma, generational trauma. When you push your emotions down, okay? So yeah, I figured out I was being attacked demonically for years. And when I finally cleared that up and was able to cast them out, guess what? I never get migraines again. And if I do, they're often physical, and I can test physical, and then I can test that it's a nutrient deficiency, and it's usually magnesium, okay? So yeah, for 20 years, I saw my doctor. No one said, maybe you have apnea, horrible system. Yeah, so the truth is, you guys, if you want to reclaim your truth and you want to be able to not only heal yourself, but take care of your children and your family, then my $27 guide, I teach you this. And I teach you how to do this for other people. Something that took me over 10 years to learn and over 9 certifications, over $15,000 to learn these 7 keys, to learn that I have always had the answer, and to learn in seconds that I could release my pain. Because all I'm doing is holding a sacred container for myself to speak to my body. My body tells me exactly what's wrong. Once I get the message leaves, the pain leaves, right? Pain is the secret language of the body. Thanks, Blissful. Pain is the secret language of the body. Pain is the literal messenger. So when you silence your messenger, you're silencing your truth. And the louder you silence your truth, the louder the messenger is going to scream at you until you finally listen. But a lot of times we're listening when it's too late, when the pain is a 10-10, when we have the big diseases, when we can barely walk, when we can't handle it anymore. So I'm telling you guys, these keys, nobody teaches them for free. Why? Because our system cannot make money off of a healed society. Because when you have these 7 keys, not only do you become unstoppable, you break free from the matrix. You break completely free from the matrix because you can know in seconds exactly what's wrong, and you can heal your pain in seconds. You're like, well, this sounds too good to be true. I do it every single day on my live. I take people from a 10-10 to a 0 in minutes. Don't believe me? Watch the live. Don't believe me? Watch the live. When I was doing with my clients time and time again, when I recognized all I had to do was hold sacred space and then give them permission to ask their body what was wrong, they went from a 10-10 pain to a 0 in minutes. Sometimes they would only get to a 4 that day because their body needed time to integrate, but they would eventually get to a 0. How do I know that? Because I literally talk and speak to their body. Because they give me permission to do that. I teach you exactly how to do this in my $27 advanced guide. These keys are so powerful and they're free. They're free. So I have a free guide that shows the keys. The system I teach, it does take a little bit longer to get a yes or a no, but it's free. Now for $27, which is nothing. Nothing. Why do I only charge $27? Because that's what I was told by God to charge for now, okay? And that's what I'm doing. I do have a spiritual mastery course that's $397. The most incredible spiritual mystery school ever. So we're going deep into frequency code, healing, knowing who you are before you came into this earth, stepping fully into your spiritual gifts. Your spiritual gifts are different than mine. In the scriptures, God gave everybody talents. He gave everyone talents and said, go, use your talents. Some people bury their talents under a bush or in the dirt. And then you're going to see God and he's like, what did you do with your talents? Oh, I buried mine in the dirt. And then other people are going to grow and strengthen their talents, their spiritual gifts, the things that they've been given, and they're going to grow and learn. But I do it in a safe container because a lot of people are waking up spiritually. I talk a lot about this on my page. There's a lot of people awakening, having spiritual psychosis because they don't have a foundation, a solid foundation. And so now they're seeing things, hearing things are talking to them. It's terrifying. They don't know what's happening because they don't have spiritual boundaries. But first, you guys, we have to deal with this world, okay? So the 7 keys. So where was my love that we were going to work on first? I'm going to prove to you on this live that you can go from a 10, so I bought the $27. Yay, Connie! It's life-changing, Connie. So in my $27 guide, just so that you guys know, I teach you all 7 keys with the scripts and the questions to ask. I teach you the exact system that I paid for to learn in Germany called Innerwise, how to intuitive test in seconds. This is a 99.9% accuracy rate you will get for yourself. I also teach you how to do it proxy. You guys don't just learn these things and keep it to yourself. Share, help your family, help your friends. Thanks for the love. Okay? I teach you about money blocks. So how do you purchase? You click on my picture again, and then you'll see my profile, and then I have my Stan Store. So how many of you guys are dealing with money blocks? Now this is not I'm not talking like, I'm going to talk manifestation or woo-woo. I'm talking about you are blocked. No matter what you do, no matter what you try, no matter how many times you pray, how many times you manifest, how many times you do ritual, you do not break through that money barrier. Yeah. You guys, I was the same way. I was the same way. Because you're dealing with things that might be generationally imprinted into your DNA from mom and dad. You might have things that are trapped emotionally from childhood because your parents said something like this: we can't afford that. That's too expensive. Or like my dad who said, don't dream too big, Heather. So you cannot get past those money blocks if you don't heal. God does not allow us to go through our traumas and trials without learning the lesson. That's #training. Does that make sense? So even though I prayed and prayed and prayed to be a millionaire, God to make me a millionaire, make me a millionaire, he wasn't going to do that, because he'd make me a millionaire like people who win the lottery, right? They're millionaires and they lose it all in a year or in a couple years because they didn't master and recognize or understand what their beliefs were about money, because deep down inside, they felt, I don't deserve this money. I'm not good enough for this money. And they blow it away faster than you can blink your eyes. Cindy, if you want to print your free guide, by all means. I actually printed mine. I printed mine and made them into a booklet because I love it. Like, this is my advanced guide, okay? That has all the charts in the back. That has all the charts so that you can know exactly which key and exactly what to test, okay? I love it. I use this all the time. So in my $27 guide, you guys, I have the money blocks so you can know exactly what questions to ask. Do you know the last money block for me wasn't even a money block, because I kept testing. I have a money block. It's like, you have no money blocks, nothing generationally, nothing emotionally, nothing spiritually, nothing past life. I had a fear of being seen. Now you're like, how could you have a fear of being seen? You speak on stages to thousands of people. You're a published author. You have a podcast. You go live on TikTok every day. You guys, my trapped limiting belief was I had a fear of being seen fully in my spiritual gifts. So the second I started teaching truth about demons and demonic entities and spiritual warfare, I started talking truth about past lives and then talking about my spiritual gifts. That was the breakthrough I needed. And I went from relying on other people to making 10K in 2 weeks. And now I can test, are you a Reiki healer? I am a Reiki master. I am also certified in NLP hypnosis, quantum healing hypnosis therapy. I studied an emotion code. I studied theta healing. I'm certified in Breakthrough, which is a year program on how to release trapped emotions safely and efficiently. I'm certified in Innerwise. I certified with Robin Peterson in quantum healing, in frequency healing. So you ask, I probably certified it. MAP. Thanks for the baseball hat. Thank you. So after I'd done all these certifications, you guys, and I learned all the things, right? I was still seeking external validation. I still felt like I needed to qualify more and certify more. And then finally, there was one more. I was creating the system in this program, and this lady came on and was like, if you're a Reiki and you're this and you're that and you're all those things, you know, you have to learn the system because you can heal in seconds. And I'm like, oh my goodness, she's speaking my language. So guess what? I paid another $1,000. I paid another $1,000 for certification, only to realize that the one thing, ooh, yeehaw, that the one thing that I teach in my advanced intuitive testing guide is exactly what she was doing. Her whole entire system is based off of this one thing, you guys. What is that one thing? It's your freaking intuition. It is how to get a yes and a no from your body, not anyone else. It is the secret language of the body that literally speaks to you. And I teach you this in my $27 guide, how to get a yes and no within seconds of your body. It is the most freaking powerful thing, and it's only $27. So I have people jump on my live and they're like, well, what about this body as a pendulum? You can use your body as a pendulum. So that's what I talk about in my free guide. So that's why it takes longer, right? You have to really get connected to your whole body to get your yes, to get your no. It takes time. But the system I teach you is a system that I learned in Germany. It is the fastest system to get a yes or a no, and it is so stupid easy. You're going to be pissed, just like I was pissed. Just like I was pissed, because when I learned how easy it is and the truth about our chronic pain and inflammation, like you only need the 7 keys. I promise you, you only need the 7 keys. You need to learn how to get a yes or no in seconds, and boom. Game over. Thanks, Tiger Lily. So yeah, I had it out with God in my bathroom after I had paid the $1,000 for one more freaking certification that I didn't need. And I was like, gosh, dang it. Why the hell do people make it so complicated to learn that we have the keys? We have the truth. And God said, Heather, you've literally prayed since you were a little girl to be used as an instrument in my hand. And he said, and that is exactly what I'm calling you to do now. So you guys, I had to go through it to embody and to learn every single key the hard way. It's in my human design. Because God was preparing me for my life's purpose and my life's mission. So when I finally discovered the last key, which I haven't talked about, it was game over. And now I teach it for free. And then the system that takes you a little bit longer and then teaches you how to do it for other people, like your children and your husband and your mom and your dad and your brothers and your sisters and your best friends, so that you can be a helper, so that you can use your gifts to help other people. It's $27. Now I do have my spiritual mastery course we just launched last week. It's $397. It is the most transformational course if you are looking to step fully into your, thanks for the shades, spiritual gifts in a safe container. Lies she isn't talking about. Oh, I love this. I love it when people get on. So do you guys know the coolest thing about this when you learn things? These things, just like Jesus did, right? Jesus was the most perfect being on this earth, and they hung him on a cross. Ooh, let me fix my phone. Jesus was the most perfect being, and they hung him on a cross. So I teach you how to remain neutral when people hate you and despise you, and people love and adore you. That is a truly healed person. When nobody can take away or change your emotion. Not your abusers, not your past, not your traumas, okay? So, yes, me too, Tiger Lily. I wasn't gonna come on live today, and then something was like, you need to get on live tonight. So let's do this. Let me show you how you can go from a 10-10 pain to a 0 in minutes. How long does it take to master? In my $27 guide, you'll have it mastered in a couple days, maybe a day if you trust yourself. It is so stupid easy. I promise you, you're going to be so upset. So yeah, it's $27 for my guide, and then if you want to get it to my spiritual mastery course, it's $397, but I do have a payment plan option. It's only $36 a month. That is huge. I can't handle anger. I will fall apart. Yeah. Nothing bothers me. The other day, a lady, I dealt with my very first Karen. It was insane. I was like, oh, they really do exist. She almost got me because she was yelling at my 4-year-old son. So she almost got me. And then when I was in my car, I realized people are a projection of their broken inner child. And man, that lady's really broken. People project. That's why you see grown-ass adults acting like little babies, because they're trapped little trauma toddlers. How do you pay? So click here on my picture. You'll see my profile. I have a Stan Store, okay? All right, so for those of you who want to get on the list, I'm only going to offer this one time. Yeah, the Karens really exist. Would it be a session with you after I pay? You can book a one-on-one session if you would like. So you need to put in 1010. 1010 pain, I give you permission. So 1010 pain, I give you permission. Okay. We're just going to start writing them down. So I see nay. I'm going to show you guys how quickly, Tiger Lily, this will work. Don't stop believing. That's my favorite Journey song. Don't stop. Okay. Don't stop. AZS. Okay. Sunrise. Lizzie. So you guys make sure you're following me. Make sure you share this with just one person. Don't spam. Share it with one person you know, because we don't cast our pearls before swine. Share this with one person you know that would really use this information. And write a message. Hey, babe, I've been thinking about you. I really think this might be helpful. Okay? All right, so I have a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have Nay, Tiger Lily, Don't Stop Believing, As Sunrise, Lizzie, Yielded, and Jenny, and then we will go from there. So if you guys are watching this and you haven't gotten my free guide, like, I'm not your savior, I'm not a healer. You need these keys and do the work yourself, okay? You need these keys. I'm teaching you how to do this yourself. I teach men how to fish. I do not fish for men. But I go on live so that I could teach you it's possible to go from a 10-10 pain to a 0 in minutes. So we're going to start with Miss Nay. So Miss Nay, you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing, but I teach you exactly what I'm doing in my $27 guide, okay? So I have permission to work on Nay, N-A-E. Nay, are you here? N-A-E. And then I'm going to pin her to the top. Was it Nay or Tiger Lily? Oh, yes. Okay, there you are. So what we're all going to do in here, because we are now holding sacred space for Nay. So I'm going to teach you one powerful way to release. Okay? This is universal. This is universal. So there's millions of ways to release. I've done millions of certifications and everybody has their own way, but I found this to be the quickest, easiest, simplest way. So for you guys who I'm going to be working on, I want you to breathe in. Breath is universal. I do not have to teach you or educate you on breath. I want you to breathe in unconditional love into your pain. And then when you breathe out, I want you to breathe the pain out. And trust whatever emotion comes out, let it come out. If you need to cry, scream, yawn, okay? So we're working on Nay. She has a 10-10 pain. I'm going to show you exactly how I use the keys, how you can use the keys, because I just gave them to you for free. I didn't talk about the last key, but I will if someone has it. So Nay, let's use the keys. We're going to ask, first, thank you, body, for speaking truth through pain. I will no longer silence my messenger. I will listen and hold sacred space so that I can get to the root cause of what's causing me the dis-ease in my body, the disease, the discomfort. So key number 2, it's physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's generational, it's past life absorbed, okay? So Nay, it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. So Nay, the first thing that you're dealing with is generational. Right? We already learned through epigenetics, they've proven this through science, this can happen. We need to know more, no. So if I got a yes that we need to know more, then we would keep asking questions. The second your body says no, you don't need to know more, it means that you can release. So Nay, I want you to breathe in unconditional love into that pain, wherever it's in your body. And when you breathe it out, I want you to breathe out the pain, okay? And then let us know in the comments when your pain starts going down. So I'm gonna ask, what pain is this gonna get her to? It's gonna get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5. So if this is only gonna get her to a 5, what does that mean? It means that she has another key attached to this pain. You guys following along? You guys getting what I'm dropping? So physical, emotional, hey Heather, physical, emotional, spiritual, okay? Spiritual key. So I didn't really go into the keys, you guys, but there's an upside and a downside to spiritual. Spiritual could be demonic, unclean spirit, fiery dart of the adversary, a curse, a hex. But there's also an upside to the spirit key, which is ascension. If you felt like your ears have been ringing like the last couple weeks, mine have been insane. Feeling like you've been swimming underwater, feeling massive fatigue, okay? Most likely you are dealing with ascension symptoms. The sun has been beaming down on us more than it ever has in years, thousands of years. And there's a reason why, because we are being forced to awaken and to ascend. And so our bodies are ascending to a higher vibrational frequency and our bodies are just taking a little bit longer to catch up, okay? Spiritual. So we're going to ask, it's the good, it's the bad. Unclean spirit, demonic. Demonic. Okay? Whether you believe in this or not, my truth to you is that you have power over everything. God even said in scripture, Satan has the power to prick your heel, but you have the power to bash his head. Okay? There's more than one, no. We need to know more, yes. This started 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 10, 11, 12. So this started at 12 years old. So you've been carrying this little thing for a long time. So Nay, we're just going to ask and command that it be left, that it leaves in the name of Jesus Christ. If you don't believe in this, then you can just command it to be gone. Okay? We are so powerful, you guys. If you even knew how powerful you are, you would laugh when somebody talked about demonic entities or unclean spirits. You would just laugh in their face. That's been cleared? No. She needs to call in an angel. She needs to call in. So now you need to call something in to help you release this. She knows, yes. So Nay, are you still there? How you doing? So legacy, you're feeling tired. That's the first key. Then you would just ask. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Nay, yes. Okay. How's your pain right now? Where we were at a 10, how's your pain right now? Yes, you can use this on pets. You can absolutely use this on pets. So I had lots of people, 3, 4, shut the front door, Nay. You guys, did you guys just see what happened? So Nay started at a 10, 10, she's at a 3, 4. How many minutes has it been? Okay. She cleared the demonic. You already cleared the demonic, Nay. That's great. This is going to get her to a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. Nay, these 2 things are going to get you to a 0. On this live, yes. Okay. Boom. I literally just proved to you that these keys work, you guys. I have never met Nay. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a healer. I'm not your savior. You are for yourself. Jesus died for you. God gave you intuition and discernment. These keys are for you. I didn't create these keys or make them up. I remembered them. And when I remembered every key and how powerful I was, game over. Game over. So when you have these keys, guess what? It is game over for anyone to hold power over you or control you ever again. because you have the key, you have intuition and discernment. You can literally ask anything and know. If you ask something really deep though, like spiritual things, sometimes you might not get an answer because you're just not ready for that, okay? But other than that, when it comes to your health, you can know. Seiko, I feel like being around people drains my energy. You're an empath. You're an empath and you don't know how to set up spiritual boundaries. So you are a sponge and you let anyone and everyone just dump their energy on you. Okay? My husband does that all the time. Bless his little heart, but he hates hanging around people and going places because he absorbs like a sponge. Heart sand, my energy is a 0 for years and my pain is like a 12, trauma and chronic ills. Okay. Heart sand, whiskers, I'll write you on the list, okay? So Nay, let us know where you're at. When Nay gets to a 0, we are going to Care Bear beam the crap out of her with so much love. Okay, are we in hell? No, this is not hell. This is one of the lowest vibrational, yay, Nay is at a 2. This is one of the lowest vibrational worlds right now. We have some of the most elite, highest spiritual beings coming to Earth to awaken, to help the Earth, to help the consciousness of the Earth, okay? You have some of the most wicked and corrupt, vile type of people here, and you have some of the most spiritual people here as well. This Earth is at the last peak of her life before she ascends, okay? The ascension is going to look like cleansing by fire. Whatever you perceive that to be, there's going to be a mass cleansing. It's already happening, you guys. There's already a shift from those who are conscious awake, who are reclaiming their power, and the people who are choosing to stay in three-dimensional realm. Those are the Karens. I teach you these keys in my $27 guide on how to get a yes or no in seconds. If you want to know these things that I'm speaking truth to, you can know, and you can ask and pray about these things. So we got Nay down to a 2. Hell yes, Nay. You're almost there, love. Keep breathing in unconditional love and breathing out. So Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily. You guys, we are proving that these keys work. Yay, Tiger Lily. These keys work in literal minutes. Oh, thanks, love. She's like, you look good natural. I usually have my hair and makeup done, but today it's Sunday, it's the Sabbath, and I was like, I'm just chilling today. So we're working on, I'm in spiritual warfare. Jan, yeah, we all are. Claim your power, babe. If you don't know how to do that, get my free guide. Or if you want to learn in seconds what type of spiritual warfare you're dealing with, get my $27 guide. Hey, Legacy. So the keys are 7 keys. Key number 1 is your body literally speaks to you through pain. Pain is the secret messenger. When you silence pain, you literally are silencing your truth. Okay? Tiger Lily. So we're going to be working on Tiger Lily, and I'm going to show you exactly how we use these keys. I just pinned her. We are holding sacred space for Tiger Lily. Okay? What does sacred space mean? It means we are in our mind's eye sending Tiger Lily love. When you send unconditional love to people, it helps transmute the pain quicker. Love is a universal law. Okay, so we're going to test for Tiger Lily. Thank you, body, for speaking to me through pain. Pain is the secret messenger. I will never silence you again. I will listen to you and be there for you. Key number 2, it could be physical. We're going to ask our body, is this physical? Is this emotional, a trapped emotion? Is this something generationally passed down through mom and dad, and how many generations back? They've proven this through epigenetics. They've scientifically proven this. Is it absorbed energy? We had someone on here, I'm fatigued and tired all the time. I hate being around people. Yep, because you're absorbing people's energy. And not only are you absorbing people's energy, you're not healing people. You're just taking it on and say, oh, I'll take this for you, but you're really not taking anything on. Because you cannot take people's traumas and trials and their pain away from them. It doesn't work that way. Ask all the moms in here if they were able to take away their child's traumas and trials. Okay? Next key, spiritual key. You could literally be being attacked by a demonic entity, a fire dart of the adversary, a familiar, an unclean spirit, a curse, a hex. There's so many things. Or it could be a good thing. You're just having symptoms of ascension, headaches, ear ringing, okay? Last key, you guys, I didn't tell my personal story, but it's my favorite. Past life. You could literally be dealing with things from a past life. I was born and raised Christian. I did not believe in this concept. I believe that you lived one life, and if you didn't live it perfect enough, you would go to hell for all eternity. That's a horrible thing to honestly believe if that's what you believe. Anyways, long story short, I had a past life experience. I was undeniable. Holy Spirit spoke truth to me. I was able to release that. I had chest pain for almost a month. The pain was gone in minutes. So we're doing this for Tiger Lily. So we're going to ask which key. You guys could do this too, you guys. I'm not a healer. I'm teaching you how to fish. I'm teaching you how to heal yourself. So we're going to ask. Tiger Lily gave me permission, yes. It's physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's generational, okay? So Ms. Tiger Lily, the first thing you're dealing with is something generational. Do we need to know more? Yes, it's from mom, it's from dad. It's from dad's side. We need to know how many generations back. No, we can clear. So Tiger Lily, unconditional love into the pain with each breath in. And then as you blow out, you're breathing that pain, you're releasing it through your body. You guys, this is a universal concept of breath and unconditional love. I do not have to teach people this. Do you know the first thing we do when we are in trauma or fight or flight? We stop breathing. We actually literally hold our breath, which cuts off oxygen to the brain, which does create more cortisol in the body, which does cause you to gain weight, which does increase your stress levels, right? So breath is universal. This is going to get her pain to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4. So this is going to get her pain to a 4, which means what? It means there's another key attached to her pain. Yeah, I passed out from stress before. Yeah. You guys, I'm sorry if you've been commenting and I haven't seen it. I'm not intentionally ignoring you. I promise. I see all of you. I love all of you. So right now we're holding sacred space for Tiger Lily. She's going to get that 10, 10 to a 4 pretty quickly. Oh my goodness. Please don't put false faith into a con artist. Oh, I love these people. A con wouldn't give the keys for free and do this for free and prove to people that you can do this in minutes. So, Mrs. Tiger Lily, let's ask with the next key. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Past life, Tiger Lily. We need to know more, yes. It is the persecution's cross. I knew it. So if you guys have watched my lives before, I could talk about the persecution's cross. We live in a time where, like I said, some of the most elite beings have come to this earth because read the Bible, the Gospel of Isaiah that was taken out of the Bible. He literally spoke this. He said that in order to ascend, you have to descend below all things. Jesus Christ was an exalted being who came to this earth to help us exalt to be like him. He was the perfect example. Isaiah taught the same thing. So we have beings who've literally descended, come down to this earth to help awaken people to ascend. What's the point of helping yourself get to a certain place if you can't take your family and your brothers and sisters with you? Heaven is not heaven without my family, okay? And we have a big family. So Tiger Lily, you're going to be clearing the persecution's cross tonight. What does that mean? That means you have very specific spiritual gifts that need to be awakened, that it is time for you to step fully into being fully seen. So if you've been dealing with past traumas, past trials, those trials were meant not to define you, but to increase your capacity for empathy and love. And so you will use your traumas and your trials to help those who've experienced very similar trials and traumas, okay? This is gonna get her to a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. This is gonna get her to a 0 on tonight's live, yes. Tiger Lily, yes I am. So you guys, Tiger Lily was a 10-10 pain. These are recorded, but I don't know how to, I've never posted my lives. But if you're wanting the information so you don't lose it, I have a free guide. And then if you want to learn exactly what I'm doing and how to do this proxy for other people exactly like I'm doing on this live, it's $27. Okay, I just bought the guide while I get it in the mail. So it is literally in your email box as we speak. So it is a PDF. You can print it. I have printed mine and turned it into a booklet because I have all my guides in the back and I use them. So you guys, I give you all the 7 keys. We're working with Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily, you let us know when you get to a 0. You're welcome. Yay, Pear Gray. How are you reading Tiger Lily? Using what? So I'm using my intuition and I'm using my intuitive testing that I learned in Innerwise, which I give you in my guide for $27. Now I teach for free another system. It does take longer because you're using your entire body to get a yes or a no. I see it disintegrating. Good. And then Tiger Lily, let us know in numbers where you're at. Glitter, if you'd love to learn, I have a $27 guide. I teach you everything that took me over 10 years and $15,000 in different certifications, okay, in a easy, simple $27 guide. All the keys, how to release, and how to do this for other people. Tiger Lily is at a 4, you guys, which means she just cleared that generational stuff that she took from dad. Now she's clearing that persecution's cross. Okay, we clear in layers. When I meditate, my gut literally jumps. Would that be intuition? You can ask. You could definitely ask. I'm a sacral authority too, so I get yeses and nos sacral from my stomach. The system I teach you though from Innerwise, you can get seconds in yes or no. I mean, you can get your yes and no in seconds, okay? In seconds. I'm not doing any of the healings tonight. I'm literally holding sacred space. These women are doing the clearing on their own. If you guys want to be part of my spiritual mastery course, you guys, your minds will be blown. Because you are going to receive so many prophetic downloads straight from God and source. Connie, I use a muscle test. Yes, that works. So I am like one of the rare special people who I could never figure out muscle testing. Like I am special. So when I learned this system in Germany called Innerwise, it was like a no-brainer. It was so stupid easy that I was like, I could do this and I can teach this. And same with him. He had learned several ways and he wanted his instrument to even be more precise. If you can get your precise yes or no, like boom, game over. Where can I buy? If you click your picture here, my picture again, and then it'll be my profile, you'll see that I have a Stan store. Awesome, I love that, Connie. Yeah, I would be so jealous when I was learning Reiki, these women we'd be getting like yes and no's. And that's the thing is once I learned, I learned my yes and no, but I didn't have a really quick system to get to the root. So these 7 keys will help you get to the root in seconds. If we learn, is it okay to teach others? So if you learn how to do this proxy for your yes, you can teach this to your family and friends. So in my $397 course, I certify you in the truth code. So if you want to charge or do sessions or like help people, then you'll want to be certified. But you're going to do whatever you want to do with this, okay? So if you get my $27 guide and you use that, like all I ask is that you give me credit or just say, hey. So I give all of my instructors and teachers credit. I mean, Jesus doesn't ask us to give him credit for everything, right? Even though he was the perfect example of everything. So all I ask is if you do want to start charging people and you want to create a practice, step into my spiritual mastery course. It's $397 because I will help you to hone in on your spiritual gifts, on your divine purpose, and then I will give you a sacred system that you can test yes or no so fast. And then we can make sure that we're incorporating your spiritual gifts because you are meant to awaken your people, your tribe. So does that answer your question? Perfect. Yeah, Tiger Lily, I love that. So we actually just started the class this week, but you will have lifetime access to the modules. I go live every Monday. It's so, so powerful. But don't take my word for it. You got to jump in and find out. Do you know why I constantly see people who remind me of a person when I'm not thinking about them? Well, your body is just bringing that up for a reason. And with the keys, you can test. Okay? And with your intuition, yes or no, you could test. Okay, so we are waiting for, did Nay get to a 0? And Tiger Lily, where are you at? And then next we have Don't Stop Believing. Tiger Lily's at a 2. Heck yes. Tiger Lily is at a 2. Okay, so Nay's stuck at a 1. And that's totally fine. Just keep breathing into that, you guys. But how freaking insane is that? Nay is at a 1. She was at a 10-10 pain, right? Tiger Lily is at about a 2. I told you I would prove to you that these keys work in minutes. Clearing something in the back of the head. Perfect. Yep, just keep breathing into that. I think it's grief, so I'm working on it. Perfect. Nay, just trust what comes up. And if you need to cry, cry. That helps grief process quicker. So don't stop believing. Are you still here? Don't stop believing. Yes. Okay, perfect. All right, so you're up. So we're going to be working on Don't Stop Believing. She has given me permission. Yes, she's at a 10-10 pain. So I'm going to use these 7 keys to get to her truth, not mine, hers. And she is going to do the processing. Thanks for the love, Sherry. She is going to eliminate her pain. I'm not a healer. I'm not a savior. I teach people how to fish. I teach people how to heal themselves. Okay? You're so welcome, Tiger Lily. I'm so excited. Hopefully I see you in the Spiritual Mastery course. It's phenomenal. All right. And then make sure Nay and Tiger Lily, you let us know when you get to a 0 so we can just support you, okay? All right, so don't stop believing. First thing we're going to ask, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? Okay, so she absorbed someone's energy and took it as her own. So with this particular one, when you absorb someone's energy, when you breathe unconditional love to that pain, when you breathe out, I want you to send that back to sender with love. Send that back to sender with love. You guys, when you send things back to sender with love, you're not adding to their pain. You're just giving them back what they already were carrying. Remember I told you can't heal or take other people's traumas. You just can't. So send that back to love, okay? We need to know more. Yes, it's from mom, it's from dad, brother, sister. Sister, do you have a sister? So don't stop believing. Yes. Okay. So you absorbed something from your sister and you took it on as your own. We need to know more. Yes. Age 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 10, 11, 12, 13. So at age 13 is when this absorbed energy is when you took it on. So imagine being 13 years old to the age you are now. Of course, your body's literally screaming and at a 10-10 pain because you silenced your messenger for how many years? Okay? And it's as simple as, oh, this isn't mine. I can send it back to sender with love. So you're sending it back to your sister with love. It does not mean you're intensifying or increasing her, whatever you took. Okay? It's like when you mirror someone, you just imprinted, and so you imprinted that and you took it as your own, but she still carried the same amount. Georgia, that's okay, Georgia, don't be afraid. Because if it is something spiritual, bye, because you're a powerful bad A, and they cannot hurt you. It's literally as like, I don't want you here in my house, bye. I'm 5 years older than her. This is interesting. There's a lot more to this. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So that's going to get you from a 10-10. Hey, you're so welcome. This is going to get you from a 10 to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4. So do you guys see what I did there? I asked her body, we released this key. this absorbed energy. Now what is the pain going to get to? So if it only gets to a 4, it means what? There's another key. So we're going to ask physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. If you do not believe in something I'm speaking in, it doesn't resonate. Change the language to something that resonates with you. So I grew up Christian. Past life didn't resonate with me for a very long time until I had my own personal experience. But we are eternal beings. Like, we didn't just show up here. So you can ask, was this something in the eternities before I came here? Okay. Persecution's cross. We need to know more. No. So we don't need to know more, which means your body is ready to just clear this. This is going to get her to a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. So don't stop believing. You're going to breathe unconditional love into this pain, and you're going to breathe it out. And this is going to get you to a 0. Yep, energy doesn't die. Nope, we are eternal beings, you guys. We live forever and ever and ever. And that's why we keep coming back to learn and grow and learn and grow. If you want to go really deep into my spiritual mastery course, you guys, we talk about where you came from. And I will blow your mind when you talk about Cherubim realm, the Pleiadians, the Andromedes, right? If we are eternal beings that create and create and create, God even said there are more planets than there are sand in the sea. Have you ever picked up a handful of sand? Could you even count how many pieces of sand there are? That's how many worlds without number there are. So if you want to know your generational line before you came here, you can. Yay, Caitlin. So we go really deep. If you feel called, you feel called. If you don't, it's not for you. Okay. Don't stop believing. Where you at, love? So we're using the 7 keys to unlock her truth. Okay, so if you're feeling resistance, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Just relax into that and just ask for unconditional love to go into that and transmute whatever that block is and just see it being released, okay? Yes, Denise. I've had dreams and visions about my origin. I teach you how to sacredly turn on your antenna to connect with your origins, okay? If you feel called, join my spiritual master class. How do I get out of almost lifelong disassociation? So Fran, when you have the 7 keys, you can tap if there's something physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, or absorbed that's keeping you from associating with your body or connecting or coming back in. A lot of times people disassociate because they can't handle the traumas, the childhood traumas, the emotional traumas, okay? So you have to learn how to create safety in your body for your soul to come back in, or else it'll just keep wanting to leave because it's just too painful. So you need to ask which key so you can tap into what you're not wanting to see. So the pain is probably getting really loud right now because you're not listening to the messenger. So don't stop believing. Let me know if that worked, how you're feeling. So you guys, if you want to learn how I'm doing this, it's $27. I teach you the 7 keys. I give you all the guides. And I also let you do, oh, I didn't see your last message, love, sorry. I teach you exactly how to do this for other people. When I say other people, I mean your friends and your family. This is, if you want to do clients and incorporate this into your spiritual practice, I would highly recommend getting certified in my spiritual mastery course. Oh, perfect. Okay, so don't stop believing. She received a release in her hips and she's at a 3. Incredible. Incredible. We literally, she went from a 10-10 pain to a 3 in minutes. She went from a 10-10 pain to a 3 in minutes. Tiger Lily's at a freaking 0. Hell yes. Tiger Lily. Can we all send Tiger Lily love? Do you guys see, if people knew this and had a mass awakening of this, who would profit? Who would profit? Nobody. Hey, Yvonne. Hey, my love. I'm excited for our one-on-one tomorrow. Who would profit off of people who were healed and knew how to get answers for themselves? You guys, that is what we were created to do. Okay? You were created to know this. I just remembered and now I teach it. The 7 keys is all you need. Everything is in the 7 keys. Everything. If you find something that's not within one of my keys, tell me. I will add it. But I promise you, you won't. You won't. Once you get your yes and no, once you learn how to connect and speak to your body and speak to your intuition that never lies, always tells the truth, game freaking over. Hey, Juliet. So it's $27 for my advanced intuitive testing guide. And if you click on my picture, it'll show another picture of me. Click on that again and you'll see my profile. And then you'll see my stand store. But I also give these keys for free on the live. You don't even have to spend a penny to learn what took me over a decade and $15,000 to learn, which was these keys. Papa, I have the keys in my free guide, but we're going to go over them again, okay? So up next is at AZ Sunrise. Are you here? Oh, okay, you guys. Don't believe. I don't know your name. I just want to share that I'm having an emotional release, not my job to protect. Yes. Perfect. So you guys, when you hold sacred space, these emotions are going to come up. So keep sending, don't stop believing unconditional love so that it's easier for her we can transmute this for her quicker. Okay? So AZ Sunrise is here. I'm assuming you're a girl, right? As Sunrise. Gave me permission? Yes. So I'm going to show you, somebody said, I'm new here. What are the 7 keys? I'm going to give you the 7 keys right now. So the 7 keys, because we are using this with AZ. Yes. Okay. We are using this to test which key. When you know which key, you unlock your truth. Because when you silence your pain, you're literally silencing your truth. That is key number 1. Your body has a secret language. Pain is nothing more than communication from your body that something is not right. We have been lied to. We've been told the second you have pain to silence it, because they knew, if we knew that what we were really doing was silencing our truth and keeping ourselves stuck and sick so that we would have to rely on a broken system to heal us, game over. Okay? So that is what we are teaching and talking about tonight. So AZ. Yeah, 8 weeks. Thank you, Yvonne. She's answering all the questions for me. My spiritual mastery course is 8 weeks, but you will have access to all the modules and any bonuses that I add. So we are going to be doing, starting in January, a 30-day money ritual. This ritual is like no ritual you have ever done when it comes to money. This is not some BS pretend woo-woo manifestation, okay? You will learn in my class too that we get to work. This is not some easy passive course. You work at it. Okay, so AZ, we're going to ask, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? We're going to ask which key. What am I doing? I teach you in my $27 guide how to do this too, okay? So we're asking, is physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. So AZ, something generational. You guys, she's at a 10-10 pain and she's carrying something that's generationally passed down. How many years has she been carrying this? Since she was a baby, okay? Her body's been speaking to her, telling, hey, it's time to release this, it's time to release this. But what do? We silence the messenger. And the messenger gets louder and louder until we're at a 10-10 pain. We're like, what is going on? We need to know more, yes. From mom, from dad's side. We need to know how many generations back. No, she's ready to clear, yes. Okay? So AZ, you are going to just hold sacred space and breathe unconditional love into that pain. And then each breath out, you're releasing that, okay? Trust whatever emotion comes up for you and just let it come through. This is going to get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5. So this is going to get her to a 5 pain. What does that mean? Julia, I don't know what you mean. What does that mean if we cleared something and it gets to a 5? We were told it gets to a 5. It means that there is another key. Because we can have multiple keys causing the same pain. Does that make sense? So you have to have all 7 keys. So we're going to ask physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Again, generational. We need to know more? No. Okay? What does that mean? It means she can clear. So again, more generational stuff that's going to be clearing right now. We're going to ask this will get her to a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. So this is going to get her pain from a 10, 10 to a 0. And it wasn't even hers. Yes, Tiger Lily. Thanks, love. Perfect. Yeah, and I do have a payment plan that's $36 a month if the $397 up front is too much. So AZ, you guys, has a 10-10 pain. I was told through her body telling me that it could get to a 0 tonight by just releasing that. This is not magic. This is just divine truth. These are the truth code. Yes. I love that so much for you, Tiger Lily. So just so you guys know, I'm pinning Tiger Lily. You guys can follow her or ask her. I've never met her. She was at a 10-10 pain. She's at a 0 in minutes. She says, I haven't felt this much relief and peace in so long. Did I do it? No. She did it all on her own. All I did was held sacred space, used the 7 keys. The second we unlocked, we stopped silencing her messenger. Her messenger, who's her messenger? Her higher self, her soul. Said this is what she needs to release. Please, thank you. Thank you for listening. Now she knows, now she can release, okay? It's that simple. You can do this too. If you want to learn how to do it quicker within seconds like I do for other people, then it's my $27 guide. Cool? So we're working with AZ right now. We cleared 2 generational things. One from her dad, one we didn't need to know. So do you see, if you go to the doctor, if AZ were to go to the doctor, if Tiger Lily, if Nay, if Don't Stop Believing went to the doctors, guess what? They're going to run labs, they're going to run tests, they're going to run to see if she has a parasite or nutrient deficiency or a heavy metal or a toxin, and everything's going to come back clear. They're going to say, you're fine. You're fine. They're going to gaslight you and tell you you're fine. When I just proven to you that they're not, that they have a 10-10 pain, but it's spiritual. Do you guys understand how important this is? It's spiritual. Thanks for the love. Yes, 6 specialists in the last 5 months. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my goodness. It's insane, you guys. We are living in a broken system, but people are awakening to their truth. You are so welcome. Have an MRI tomorrow. Okay. Wow. So AZ Sunrise was at a 10. You keep letting us know when this starts releasing the pain and gets down to a 0. She will get to a 0 on this live. Yes. Carrie, you got to get my 7 keys, babe. And if it's spiritual and you already know that, I'm just telling you right now, you are so powerful. All you have to do is command them to be gone, even in your name. Are you kidding me, AZ? Yes, I'm teaching the 7 keys. We're going to go through them again. I'll show you exactly. So we're working with AZ. You guys, she was at a 10-10 pain. She's at a 4. How many minutes has it been? You guys, please get my free guide because I'm teaching you how to fish. I'm teaching you how to heal yourself, okay? I'm not your savior. I'm not a healer. I'm not a psychic or a medium for you. Am I for myself? Yes. Can you receive prophetic revelations and downloads and visions? Yes. Do you have spiritual gifts? Yes. But you need to know the 7 keys so you can unlock your healing in seconds. I do this every single day. I do this every single day with at least 10 people. I get them from a 10 to a 0. Oh, Danette, thank you. So we are holding sacred space for AZ Sunrise. Yay, Danette. That's right. I remember you, Danette. How is it going? Yeah, look at these people. I'm so sorry. I understand. Can't even list the amount of specialists I've seen. You guys, I went to a specialist. I went to a neuro brain surgeon or specialist. I was referred to a specialist. I was getting migraines, severe migraines. They would put me in bed every day. I literally thought I had a brain tumor and that I was going to die because of the amount of pain. All good. Shared your TikTok with a friend just today. Yay, Danette. Danette, when you realized how stupid, simple, easy it was, were you like pissed off? Were you like, are you freaking kidding me? This is it? Like, this is all I needed to know to get my power back and to help other people? Because I was. When I finally learned it, after spending $1,000 on yet another course. You guys, your intuition is your gift from God. It never lies. It always tells the truth. It speaks to you through your body. It gives you a yes and a no. I teach you how to get your yes and no. In my free guide, I teach you a way to get a yes or no. It does take a little bit longer because you're using your entire body to get a yes and a no. In my advanced intuitive testing guide that I learned in Germany, it takes seconds. And it is so foolproof. You guys, I could do it. And that means a lot because I tried a lot of systems and I'm like, it's too special. I can't figure it out. How do you get the free guide? Click my picture. Click the picture again. You'll see my profile. Click my Stan Store. That's okay. Danette, I love that. And you know what? It's quite long. It's 80 pages, right? It's 80 pages, but it goes through all the 7 keys. You have all the charts. You have all the guides. You also have the money block. You also teach you how to do this proxy. So it is like I give you so much. I have migraines every day. Yeah. So you guys, I was having migraines so bad. I saw a specialist. They said, nothing is wrong with you. It's normal. Just take this medication called Imitrex. When I did the research on what it does, it actually stops your heart from beating. It constricts your heart so that your blood vessels in your neck aren't so constricted to cause your migraine. And then guess how many side effects were on the little tablet? Warning, this could cause this. It wasn't until, let's see, that happened when I was 21. I was 32 years old when I learned about spiritual warfare actually causing you physical pain like migraines. So from 21 to 30, that's 11 years with chronic migraines that doctors said was normal and that I was okay. Just take this painkiller. I learned the key. I learned the spiritual key. I learned that I was being physically attacked by legions of demonic entities that were causing me severe migraines so bad they put me in bed for 3 hours. No wonder they attacked me because they knew they would get me in a dark, quiet place for 3 hours, completely ostracized from the world, wishing I would. The pain is so bad, you guys, you literally pray to God, like, please save me from this. And then it gets so bad that if it doesn't go down, you're like, I'd take me to the emergency room. People who have migraines know. I have not had a migraine like that in almost a decade. Because I know the truth. I've always known the truth. My body has always told me the truth. But I was so stuck on external validation that I didn't realize that my body was literally screaming at me and telling me exactly what was wrong, and I was bypassing my intuition, my truth. I was silencing my messenger. Okay? If I get a migraine now, well, I could feel the start. It's usually physical, and it's usually a deficiency in magnesium, and I'm fine. So sorry. We are working with AZ, who's been dealing with chronic pain, went to several specialists. We cleared 2 generational things that were not even hers. And we are holding sacred space to get her to a 0 tonight. If you have dealt with, she's at a 4. Okay, still at a 4. So you guys, first of all, AZ, this is incredible. You went from a 10-10 to a 4 in minutes. A lot of times, you guys, we want the healing to happen so fast, but we have to allow our body's integration. We have to allow our body's integration. So when you're releasing, you guys, hold sacred space and just keep breathing unconditional love into the pain and breathe out that pain and trust the emotions that come up, because a lot of times these generational things are tied to a very deep, strong emotion. Yay, Cindy. Can you take on another generational illness? Yes, you can. They have proven through epigenetics in the study of mice that mice would pass down not only sickness, disease, fears, phobias. When they would traumatize mice around a certain scent, the babies would stay away from that scent. How would they know that? So if you have phobias, fears, diseases, sicknesses, traumas that are stuck in your body and you don't know why am I so terrified of heights? Why am I so terrified of certain animals or certain things? It's probably not even your terror. It's someone in your generational line experienced something so traumatizing when they saw this animal or they saw this spider or something had heights and they passed it down generationally. It's a protection mechanism to keep the species alive. Okay? So 100%, you could have multiple generational things, but how do you know? You test. And we sure as hell are not going to take a parasite cleanse or a vitamin or a mineral when that's not even the problem. We're wasting so much time and money and things that are not even getting to the root cause. Oh, interesting. So high bliss, kiss. That feeling, I would start with that feeling and then I would ask, is this physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, or absorbed? And you'll know exactly what. When you get the key, you ask more. When you get another key, you ask more. You go deeper, deeper till you can clear it. So AZ, where are we at? Are you still kind of sitting at a 4? And can we all just imagine in our mind's eye AZ sunrise and just send her unconditional love? Because that will help the process. It literally transmutes everything. Cindy, yes. So okay, perfect. Let me see if there's something else we need to clear. There's another thing for AZ that we need to clear, yes. Okay. So we need to do more AZ. So that means we need another key. So Cindy, really quickly though, in my advanced intuitive testing guide, which I think you just said you downloaded, I actually teach you how to test your supplements. If they do not get you to 90 to 100% efficacy or efficiency to deal with exactly what you're dealing with, throw them away. You just wasted your money. In fact, they are recognizing that there's hundreds of thousands of vitamins and pills that people are literally just pooping out. They're not even dissolving in the body. So number 1 is I want you to use the keys to see if it actually is physical. And if it is physical, what heavy metal, what toxin, what parasite, what nutrient deficiency. And so that way you know exactly what you need to take to even get to the root, okay? How to test supplements. I teach you my $27 guide. It's so simple and easy. And with the use of AI, you guys, I'm going to actually be uploading a bonus to my $27 guide because with AI, it's like game over. When you can test a nutrient deficiency and then you know exactly which one, you can use AI to do some pretty cool things. So let's test for AZ because she's been dealing with a 10-10 pain. We got her to a 4 and she's been stuck there. And I didn't ask. I was told she could get to a 0 tonight, but I didn't ask if there's another key. So you always have to ask, is there another key? Especially if you're stuck at a pain level for a long time. And I got a yes, there is. So we're going to ask, it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Yes. So I always ask if it's the persecutions cross, just because I would say about 80% of people that I'm working with lately are dealing with that. Yes. Okay. What is the persecutions cross? We've already talked about this on this live. In order to ascend, you have to descend below all things. Lots of us have descended below all things multiple times, multiple lifetimes, and we were persecuted, or our lives were ended very abruptly because of our truth. So you've heard about witches being burned or hung, or, you know, and women, we know women healers back in the day, they didn't like that. So in this lifetime, you are meant to reclaim and step fully into those gifts, to be seen, fully seen. And when you do that, if you have any scarcity around money or things like that too, that's going to end too. That's going to get her to a 0. Yes, we need more keys. No. So that was it. So massive AZ. So as you're breathing unconditional love and you're releasing that persecution's curse, trust whatever feelings come. I have a fear of water. I have a death fear of water. She was drowned for her truth. Yes. Let's see. Did she have something tied to her and drowned? Yes. There it is. So you were drowned for speaking your truth. Now, I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium. I am not a healer for you. I am for me. What I do is I hold keys so that you do not take my word for it. You take the 7 keys. I knew that. Somehow I knew that. That's what AZ said. I want you to take the 7 keys, and I want you to get your own yes or no. That is your intuition. That is your gift from God to decipher truth. How do you decipher truth? I teach you in my free guide. Yes, it takes a little bit longer because you're using your entire body to get a yes or no. If you want my $27 guide, I teach you how to get your yes and no in seconds. But I also have all the guides for all the keys, plus how to do this proxy, plus how to see if you have money blocks, plus how to test all of your supplements. So this is like game over. When you get this $27 guide, you do not need certifications in anything. How do I know? Because I certify them literally 100 things. Spent over 15K or more in holistic modalities just to recognize that I never needed those things. So now AZ is going down. She's at a 3 going down. Do you see, you guys? This works. This works. I proved it with 1, 2, 3. She's our 4th person. 10, 10, to a 0 in minutes. I've never met these people. I'm just holding sacred space so that you can speak with your messenger. Who is your messenger? Your higher self. Who is your higher self? Your soul that knows everything and knows why your body's in pain. So when you silence your pain, you're literally silencing your truth. But here's the thing. Until your truth gets heard, you will carry the pain. And the pain will get louder and louder and louder until you listen. Not me, not a doctor, not a prophet, not a priest, not a teacher, not a coach, you. And then AZ said, how can I get the, hold on, Lily. AZ said, and somehow I know what both generational things were on both sides of the family. So you will intuitively know once you start practicing these keys. So if you want these keys, you guys click on my picture again, and then you'll see my profile. And then you'll see my Stan Store link. If you have the $27, get my advanced intuitive testing guide. It is worth thousands. It is easily worth $15,000. But don't believe me. Do this for yourself. Okay, someone asked, is the list still open? So we have Lizzie, Yielded, and Jenny. So Lizzie, Yielded, and Jenny, and then depending on what time it is, we'll do some more. So Lizzie, are you still here? And then AZ, you let us know when you get to a 0 so that we can love bomb you. Here, okay, Lizzie. And you guys, those of you who are like, I know you desperately need the healing, get my free guide because I teach you how to do this for yourself. So if I cannot get to you today, you can literally read my e-guide tonight, like have it in your email in seconds, and you can start doing this work and relieve yourself of the pain. Okay? So we're going to work on Lizzie. She's a 10-10 pain. Yes. I can work on her. Yes. So we're going to use the 7 keys. I'm getting the one with the keys. They both have the keys, okay? So the free guide gives you the 7 keys, but we only work on the first 3. And I teach you a system how to get a yes and no. It does take a little bit longer because you're using your entire body to get a yes and a no. In my advanced guide, which is $27, you'll learn in seconds, and it's so stupid easy, you're gonna be pissed. I'm just gonna say that. You're gonna be mad because you're gonna be like, it was so simple and I carried this pain for so many years and I didn't have to. That's why I was upset. I carried this pain for so many years, God. I spent so much money to heal myself, and all I had to do were these simple little things. Okay, Lizzie. We're working with Lizzie, you guys. We're gonna ask, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? Key number 1, your body literally speaks to you through pain. When you silence your truth, when you silence your pain, you silence your truth. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. All right, Lizzie, right off the bat, past life. We need to know more? No. So we don't need to know any more, which means you are ready to clear this. So universal law of releasing, this is the fastest way I've found that people release themselves. I'm not doing the healing. I'm not a healer. We're going to breathe unconditional love into that pain wherever it is in your body. And as you breathe out, you're going to see that pain literally leaving your body through breath. This will get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5. This will get her pain down to a 5. How do I know? Because I tested. How do I test? I teach you in my $27 guide. Because this will only get her to a 5, it means that there is another key that is causing her pain. So we're going to ask. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So she has taken on someone's energy as her own and claimed it. But when you claim other people's energy, you don't heal people from their pain, okay? You just mirror it and be like, oh, I'll take some of this for you. But it doesn't do anyone good. It just puts pain in your body. We need to know more, yes. Mom, dad, brother, sister. Do you have a sister? Lizzie? Yeah, observe, not absorb. Perfect, Quinn. Yes. Okay, so you took this from your sister, okay? We need to know more, yes. Age 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 15 through 20, 15. At age 16, you took on something from your sister. We need to know more? No. I'm being spiritually attacked. I know for a fact. Yeah, if you know you're being attacked, my one word of advice is you are so powerful that if you even knew how incredibly powerful you are, you would literally laugh at those entities right now. You'd be like, bye. So step into your power, nurse healer, command them to leave and laugh. Like, how pathetic do you think you are trying to mess with my energy, okay? So, you are ready to clear that. Lizzie? Yes. Okay, so we're going to ask. That's going to get her to a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. She needs more clearing. Nope. So that's it. So you guys see in literally how many minutes was that? 2 minutes. We found out that Lizzie was carrying a past life, something from a past life, and she absorbed energy from her sister when she was 16 years old and took it as her own. So she's breathing unconditional love into that pain. Sending, first of all, that pain back to sister with love. Releasing that past life trauma. So, Lizzie, how we doing? Next is Jenny. Mimi, it could be ascension. Get my 7 keys, you guys. I got them for free. Hey, Rob. You seen me before? In tears, about a 5. Okay. Perfect, Lizzie. That's perfect. Let the tears come up. So you guys, Lizzie was at a 10-10. She's at a 5 in literally minutes. Literally minutes. I do not make anything up. I teach you the keys for free so that you can silence, so you can stop silencing your truth. You have to take accountability for your healing. Yes, that is one of my keys, emotional trauma. If you were ever sexually traumatized, physically traumatized, emotionally traumatized, religiously or spiritually traumatized, you have trapped emotions because at that age you didn't have the mental capacity to understand what was happening, so your body protected you from that until you were at a coherent age where you could recognize the truth about that situation when you were a child, so you could heal it. You're only counting 6. Key number 1 is your body speaks to you through pain. Pain is the secret messenger of the body, okay? That's key number 1. Key number 2 is it could be physical, a heavy metal, a toxin, a parasite, or nutrient deficiency. Which one? Because we're not playing a needle in a haystack guessing game, okay? I teach you how to get a yes or no, which one? Because if it's a parasite, which one? If it's a toxin, which one? If it's a nutrient deficiency, which one? If it's a heavy metal, which one? We're not playing a guessing game with our health and our bodies. Key number 3, it's emotional. Emotional trauma. Key number 4, it's generational trauma from mom and dad. They've proven it through epigenetics. Key number 5, absorbed energy. Key number 6, spiritual. Spiritual does not always mean demonic entities, unclean spirits, fiery darts of the adversary. It could be ascension symptoms. Someone said here, I'm always tired, I'm always fatigued. You might be ascending, and so you're constantly feeling fatigued and tired, ringing in the ears. Could be something else though. Last one is past life. How can I work with you? I do one-on-ones. So if you click my profile picture here, click my picture again, click my picture again in my profile, I have a stand store. Okay? But when I do one-on-ones, you guys, you better believe that we're working on how to test, because after that call, you are going to know exactly how to get your own answers. Okay? I'm not here to be your healer or to be your savior. I'm here to teach you these tools so you can do it yourself. I'm in Utah. I'm in Utah. So Lizzie, how we doing? She was at a 10. We got her down to, I believe, a 4. When I say we, I mean her. We just held sacred space so she could process. Sometimes you feel right. You are so the best. Thanks, Rob. She's a 3. Okay, I'm pinning Lizzie here. Okay? If you want to reach out to Lizzie, or if you have questions about Lizzie and her pain or her experience and she feels like she wants to share, I've never met her. She was at a 10-10 pain just a couple minutes ago, and she's at a 3. How is she at a 3? We use the keys. We ask which key. When you unlock the truth, you release your pain instantly. Pain is just the messenger. You cannot bypass the lesson, the understanding, the truth, okay? I teach this when it comes to money too. In my $27 guide, I do have a section on money. Because if you have generational ties to scarcity and money, or hexes or curses or whatever, you will not make money. You might win the lotto. You might become a millionaire overnight, and guess what? In 2 to 3 or 4 years, you're going to lose it all. Have you been what we've been through? Yes, Lisa, thank you for asking this. I teach through embodiment, pure embodiment. When I was a child, I saw demonic entities. I had sleep paralysis. I had night terrors. I had parents who came from generational trauma. My dad came from war. His father was served in Vietnam War. had PTSD, was physically abusive with my father, and was an alcoholic. His dad served from war. His dad was in the war. My mother came from sexual trauma at a young age. Her mom came from sexual trauma at a young age. Her mom came from sexual trauma and alcoholism. Then you have me, a little girl with a traumatized dad and a traumatized mom, doing the best they can, creating more trauma. I was literally absolutely so terrified when I was a little girl because my parents were constantly screaming and fighting. And then on top of that, I saw entities in my bedroom that terrified me. I had night terrors so bad that I would wake up, peed my pants. I'd try to go run to my parents' room, but I couldn't because there were these shadow entities moving around their bed or blocking the doorway. I had physical trauma and sexual trauma as a child. So I had trapped emotions, and that was the generational trauma. I lost a child. Me and my husband had a child that had a rare genetic disorder. So I had to say hello and goodbye. So I know what it feels like for moms who lose children. I dealt with infidelity. I dealt with religious trauma and spiritual trauma. So any type of traumas you can imagine, I've dealt with. And so each one of these keys that I teach from pure understanding and learning. So I don't care if someone laughs in my face or says you're lying or whatever, because I know my truth and I'm so freaking powerful, you guys. I'm never sick, and I've turned my trauma and my trials into my power. And I put all my shame in a book. So if anyone's like, oh, I remember you when you were 19 and da-da-da-da, cool. So your traumas and your trials do not define you. Your trials and your trauma are hashtag your training to become who you're meant to come. So these women who I'm clearing past life, persecutions, crosses, they did not walk an easy life. And I'll be damned if someone gets certified in therapy and wants to talk to me about my traumas and they've never experienced anything. That is my biggest pet peeve about our society, is you have these perfect little house mom or house dads who've never had any big trials or traumas, and then they try to tell you how to experience your trauma. So I don't do that. So thank you for asking, because that is the most important thing, is that, and that is why I'm here, in fact, through my human design. It literally says that I will teach through embodiment, not from somebody else's story, but from my own personal story, because you know when someone's bullshitting you. You know when someone comes on TikTok and starts spreading, oh, da-da-da-da, like fairy fluff up your butt, like you're like, no. But when I speak, I have a resonance and a frequency and a tone that pierces your heart and your body, and you know that I'm speaking truth. And I wouldn't come on here live giving these keys for free and then telling people, claiming I can take you from a 10-10 pain to a 0 if I couldn't do it. Because I walked the freaking line, and I do this every freaking day. But I say this because I'm tired of the broken freaking system. I'm tired of authority using dominion over people for financial gain. I have people come on my lives and message me privately, it's pretty scummy you're charging $27 for your guide. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, you must not have seen my free guide. But I also recognize that there's a lot of broken people who are victims who believe they are owed everything and that they don't have to work for anything. So yeah, I charge $27 for my guide, but I could easily charge $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $15,000 and I wouldn't blink an eye, because I know that the people who get those guides, it is game over for the system, because they will no longer profit off of these people ever again. How do I know that? Because when you know the truth, when you know these 7 keys and you know how to get a yes or a no, no one can bullshit you. Nobody can take advantage of you. I literally will work with people and I'll ask, I'll pray to know, and I'll get a yes or a no. And I'm so in tune with my energy and God and source. And I teach you this in my spiritual mastery course, like how to set terms to your energy, that nobody will ever take advantage of me again. Because I worked corporate. I had a 6-figure corporate job, and those were some of the most scummy, dirty, disgusting men and women I've ever worked with. And again, learning lesson about my boundaries and who I am and my worth. So yeah, I teach these keys through embodied living. because I personally experienced, and I know what it feels like to be gaslit about pain. I know what it feels like to go to a specialist who specializes in neuroscience, brain science, and tells you you're fine. Your migraines are just normal. Take Imitrex. That literally shuts your freaking heart down and has 100 side effects. Warning, could cause permanent damage to your heart, but you're fine. Okay? That is why I teach every single day, because like AZ, who was in a 10-10 pain and seen specialist after specialist and went from a 10-10 pain to what? Where is she at now? Right? This is baloney, you guys. Our system is broken. It's meant to keep you sick and stuck, but we don't have any other way because we were taught to silence our truth. But okay, you can feel my passion. So if people come on here and they don't recognize the gift, they don't feel the energy, they're not ready. It just means that they're not ready and it's not time. There's still some lessons they have to learn. If you're on here and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to learn this, I want to learn this, that's because you've literally been praying for it. You've been seeking it. When the student is ready, the mentor appears. Okay? So do yourself a favor, get the free guide and share it with people. If you know that someone's sick, be like, hey, I want to share this free guide with you. Like, I think it might help you. Yes, if you're ready, you guys, you can start for free. Or you can get my $27 guide, which teaches you all the keys, how to do this for yourself, how to do this for other people, how to test if you have money blocks, how to test your supplements, your food, your water. Because if it's not for me, if it's not for me 90 to 100% effective, I'm not wasting my time or money. Okay? If you want to come into my spiritual mastery course where your mind will be freaking blown, because I create a sacred container for you to connect straight to source. Do you guys know when Jesus came here, he literally said that the kingdom of God is inside of you? Do you know what that means? Is that when you go within and ask for answers, you get them from God, not from me, not from a prophet, not from a healer, not from a medium, not from a psychic, straight from source. And these things that you're ready to step into, your spiritual gifts, you guys, it is game over. It's game over. Yes, Nurse Heather, thanks, love. She said, bought the advanced one, and I know for a fact your truth. But don't take my word for it, you guys. Learn for yourself. Yes, thank you, guys. Okay, so we are working with Miss Lizzie. How are you doing, love? I get on these passionate tangents, and I just go for it. How can I get on your list? So is AZ still here? Yeah, is AZ still here? She got pretty low, though. So she's not like... Lizzie is at a 1. Oh, my queen. Yes, Samurai. Okay, you guys. Unconditional love to Lizzie. She went from a 10-10 to a 1 in minutes. I think it was like, what, 8 minutes? AZ Sunrise is still here. How you doing, love? Oh, I love it. I don't feel alone now. I thought I was crazy, but you're not crazy. That's what they try to get you to think. That's why my posts are so much about mental health and psychosis and awakening your spiritual gifts, because they literally silence those people. Do you know mental hospitals were meant to keep the most spiritual in tune people sick, medicated, silenced? I feel like I'm playing catch up. I know it's a lot. But just follow me and then you'll see me when I go live, and it's repetition, and you'll get it. They still do it today, I know. I literally had a friend who went. She was a brand new friend. I met her through a group and she reached out to me and she's like, oh my gosh, Heather, I just got out of the mental hospital. She's like, I didn't know how to, I didn't know how to like tell you. She's like, because she was so embarrassed. People are so embarrassed, you guys. What's there to be embarrassed about? You had this massive spiritual awakening without the spiritual foundation or tools to like decipher truth. And yeah, it was terrifying. And some people have physical symptoms. She literally had like 5 heart attacks and she kept disassociating and her spirit kept leaving her body because these things were trying to take over. These things are very, very real. Someone said, well, how do you know? Because I lived it. Remember I told you I was 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and saw the most darkest entities, shadow things. And then when I was like, how old was I? I saw the tall shadow hat man in my house. But this time I knew my power and worth. And when he saw me and saw that I saw it, it darted out of my house. So I didn't even have to say anything, you guys. That is what a queen power is. When you become a queen in your life, when you become a queen, nobody disrespects you. Your family doesn't disrespect you. Entities don't disrespect you. People do not disrespect you. Like, they know. And if they try, bye. So when that entity saw that I was fully aware and in my power, it ran out of my house so freaking fast. And it was I like laughed. I was like, damn straight. So when people come in and they're terrified because I'll say, oh, I got yes for an entity, a demonic entity, or legions of entities. It does not even scare me. I'm like, we need to treat those things as if it's like the common flu. Like, oh, you picked up a little flu. So let's just build your spiritual tools and like, let's just, bye-bye. Yeah, I couldn't talk or move when it was there. Yeah, I had sleep paralysis too. Even my mom, she experienced that. Pretty dark. People want to say, oh, it's science and this thing. I'm like, whatever. You're not ready. So Lizzie, and then we have, is Yielded here, and Jenny. Yeah, Sarah. You may have, if you're not seeing them anymore and you did as you're a child, you may have blocked them off from seeing, but they're still there because that's what happened to me. Jenny, Yielded is here too. Okay, so Yielded is first and then Jenny, you're next. So I'm going to go through you guys just really quickly. So you guys, we are holding sacred space for Yielded, and then we're going to do Jenny. So Yielded. We're going to ask, it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. I can test for her. She's ready to clear. Yes. Okay. All right. So Yielded, absorbed. What does that mean? It means that you took on someone's energy and carried it as if it was your own. We need to know more. Yes. Mom, dad, brother, sister. God, lots of you guys are picking up stuff from sisters. Do you have a sister? Yielded. So we're working with Yielded. We're just using the 7 keys. You guys, you have access to these keys. 2 brothers. Okay. Is this a sister? Okay. Like a sister. Did you have like a best friend that felt more like a sister than a friend? So we're working with Yielded, and we're just getting to the root of the key so that she can release that pain. We need you more? No. Okay. So this is the person you took it from, just so you know. I got a yes, that was, and you know exactly who this person is. So you are going to breathe in unconditional love. This is a universal way of releasing, you guys. I don't have to teach people how to breathe, and I don't need to teach people unconditional love. So Yielded, you're going to breathe in unconditional love into that pain. And then when you see that pain relieving your body, you're going to send that back to your friend with love. Back to sender with love. You're not adding to her pain. You're just giving back what you never should have taken in the first place. Okay? You're probably a little kid and you didn't even know. So that's been cleared, yes. Okay, this is going to get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4. Do you ever pick up, it's multiple people they picked up from? Yes, but I test. So if your body says no, you don't need to know more, then you don't need to know more, just clear it. If you're a 1 profile in human design though, you're probably an investigator, and so you want to know. You're like, oh, but I want to know, which is totally fine. So we just cleared absorbed energy. This is going to bring her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5. So why do you guys think that I ask what this released truth will get her to? Because there might be another key. We have layers of keys, right? So that was a really great question. So we're going to ask again, which key? For Yielded, physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Okay? Generational, you guys. You can have something passed down through mom and dad, generations back. It's called epigenetics. Science has literally proven this. So, we need to know more? No. So So if we don't need to know more, it means the body can clear. So yielded, you're going to breathe in unconditional love to the pain. You're going to release the pain through breath. That's going to get her to a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. She needs more clearing. Yes. Okay. So that will get you to a 0, but there's still one more key. Remember, we worked with AZ and I got, yes, it'll get her to a 0, but there was still one more key. And then we got that key and then she was able to get down. I think she said a 1. Lizzie, she's at a 0. Thank you, love. You guys, Lizzie was at a 10-10 pain. She just went to a 0. We're sending her to bed though, because she's probably exhausted. So much love to you, Lizzie. Thank you so much for letting me hold sacred space for you, and everyone else, thank you so much for holding sacred space for her so she could release that. All right, so I'm going to tap into yielded. We're going to get the last key. She needs more than one key. No, so this is the last one. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. How did I know? Past life. Persecution's cross. Yep. Persecution cross. We already talked about this, yielded. I don't know if you were here on it, but there's a lot of people who've lived multiple lifetimes. I know it was hard for me to believe that too. So your voice was silenced multiple times. This is a life where you release that and you step fully into your gifts, and you will not be silenced in this lifetime. It's game over. When you feel ready, I would definitely step into my spiritual mastery course for anyone who's cleared the persecutions cross, if you feel called, because you are ready to step fully into your gifts, fully, to be seen, to be heard, and to be valued, and to awaken your antenna so that other people's antennas will awaken. So they're literally your soul contract family who you promised you would come to this earth and speak truth. So if my mentors did not turn their antenna on and overcome their fears and speak truth, their spiritual gifts, I wouldn't be where I am today. Does that make sense? This will get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0 tonight. Yes. Yielded. Yeah, so if you want the guide, yes, lots of sense. I'm just going to pin her comments. Yeah, so you guys can get my free guide. If you need to start there, things are tight for some people, click my picture in my Stan store, there's a free guide. The $27 guide teaches you everything I'm doing now. So how you can test in seconds, how you could do this proxy for your friends and your family. It also has all my worksheets. So when we test physical, it has all the guides. Have you noticed that not one person is physical? It's usually not. It's usually not the first thing. Yay, Mimi. Let us know. How are you loving it? Yes, Lily, got the guide. Hey, Ray, thank you. Yes, sister in Christ all the way. How do you know if I have generation or a past life? You have the keys. You can test. You have intuition that gives you a yes or a no. Your body speaks to you through pain. It is the secret messenger, the silent messenger, but it gets louder when you don't listen to it. Danette, did we need to test? Danette, I will work on you if you want me to, because you have been here. Oh, I don't have pain. Okay. If you have money blocks or something, we could test that too. I only have messages when I have had a drink. When I wake up in the morning, I won't remember a thing. I was told I need to let go of past lives. Yep, if you were, then you need to let go. So right now we are holding space for yielded. We just cleared something absorbed from her sister, which was a friend, more like a sister than a friend, something generational, and the persecutions cross. What do you think about soul retrievals? I have lots of understanding in that, but for this live, I think that would be a little too deep. But yes, there is such a thing, and different levels too, because that can mean different things for other people. Money blocks, yes. They can be generational, they can be emotional, they can be spiritual. They could be past life. You will not make the money if you have one of these blocks. And if you do, you win the lotto, you'll lose it all. Yeah, we could do money blocks. We're just waiting for Yielded to see. We're holding sacred space for Yielded. And then we're going to do Jenny. Do I read the guide and the course right after? Lily, if you got the free guide, it's right to your email. So absolutely. Oh, thanks, Rob. So Yielded, I'm going to work on Jenny while you're processing. Because it sounds like you might be processing right now. So Jenny, are you still here, love? Easy come, easy go, yep. Yay! Nurse Heather, I'm so excited. I would love that. Yes, okay, so we're going to work on Jenny. Here we go. So I'm going to pin her at the top so that you guys can see. I know there's two, so this one is Jenny. She gave me permission, yes, she's at a 10-10. So Yielded, you just keep us updated where you're at. I think she might have accidentally got off, I'm not sure. So we're going to work on Jenny. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Jenny. You guys, if something does not resonate with you, change the language. Because we are eternal beings. We've lived here. We were eternal thousands of years before we came here. So make it make sense to you to release it. Does that make sense? And if you're not ready, then you're not ready. Persecution's crossed. No, she needs to know more. Nope. So Jenny, we're going to clear this unconditional love into the pain, and with each breath, we're letting go of this. You've done the work, whether that was karmic, whether that was something else. Like it's time for you to let go now. That will get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. So that's going to get you to a 1 on tonight's live. Yes, we can get her to a 0 tonight. Yes. So there's one more key. There's one more key. Yielded, much better, thank you. Yes, and let us know, Yielded, what number are you at? Because we know numbers. You were at a 10. We were told you can get to a 0. What number are you at so we can keep sending you unconditional love? Thanks for the heart. So we're going to work on Jenny. She has one more key. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So Jenny took on someone else's energy and is carrying it as if it's her own, but her body's telling her it's time to let go. So we're going to ask, do we need to know more? Nope. So we don't. So Jenny, when you breathe into that pain and you breathe it out, unconditional love in, pain out, just send that absorbed energy back to center with love. Back to center with love. Okay, Jenny, this is going to get you to a 0. So trust as you breathe, whatever emotions come up, right? Just let them out. So Yielded, did you say what number you're at? Angie, you probably do. Hi, Bliss Kiss, I do see you. I think you've been on here for a while. So hi, Bliss Kiss. Yes, you can go next. Danette, did you say you needed me to check in on something tonight? Let me know. So we're just waiting for Yielded and Jenny to get to 0s. And you guys, if you want to learn this, I have a free guide. It'll take you a little bit longer. What did you get? What did you get from me before absorbed? Jenny, that was past life. Past life and something absorbed. Past life, we didn't need to know anymore, which means you've already overcome or worked through that. So now it's just clearing. Oh, Janny. Janny, yeah, I know it's different. So Janny, we can do you too. JNY. So we'll do you next after High Bliss Kiss. Yeah, so little scholars, you can unblock money. Can I please be next, pretty please? Mimi, I'll put you down, okay? Little scholar, we'll do money, okay? So I can show people how this money works. Okay, so High Bliss Kiss, and then Janny, Okay, so Yielded and Jenny, Jenny, you guys just let us know when you get to a 0, and please do mass zeros so that we can support you, because as I'm looking down, I don't see the messages. So High Bliss Kiss gave me permission. Yes, she's at a 10-10 pain. Yes. So we're going to ask, it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. So High Bliss Kiss, past life. You need to know more? No. So that means you can clear it. So I'm going to go through you guys pretty quickly. So unconditional love into your pain. Breathe out the pain. That'll get her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4. That'll get you to a 4, which means there's another key. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Do you guys see how quickly I'm testing you guys? This is how quick you can do it. I'm not special. Generational, something from mom, something from dad's side. Do we need to know more? No. So you can clear that. Something from dad's side. High Bliss Kiss. This will get her to a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. She needs more keys? Yes. So this will get her to a 0, but there's still another key. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Again, from mom, from dad's side. We need to know more? No. So we can clear that. This will get her to a 0, and we need more keys. We need more keys. Nope. So High Bliss Kiss. You let us know when you get to a 0. Let us know, let the people here who are watching and reading, right, what you're feeling. Jany, Jany. She gave me permission, yes. She's at a 10-10, yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, Jenny. Generational. Jany. It's from mom, it's from dad's side. We need to know more? No. So we don't need to know more, so we can clear that. This will take her to a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4. This will take Jany to a 4 pain, which means what? It means there's another key. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, again, from mom's side. This time from mom's side. Do we need to know more? No. So that means she's ready to clear. This will get her to a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. She needs more keys? No. So Jany, as a 10-10 pain, for I don't know how long, carrying something generational, which she will get to a 0. Okay? Do you guys see how critical and important it is to learn these keys? So Mimi, you're next, love. You guys, I'm doing these quickly because I'm going to end at 11:30. So we're going to do this a few more times. We're going to do Mimi, and then we're going to do Little Scholar Money Block, because I think this is so cool to learn money blocks. So Mimi gave me permission. Yes. She's a 10-10. Yes. Mimi, is it physical pain? You're so welcome, Jany. And then let us know too if while I'm on here when you get to a 0, 0, 0. Okay, thanks, Mimi. Okay, Mimi, it's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Generational. Which means what? It's not yours. It's from mom or dad. It's from mom. It's from dad. We need to know more. Yes. How many generations back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations back. Mimi, on mom's side, on the dad's side. I think she needs to know the emotion. Yes, I knew it. She needs to know the emotion. Okay. You guys, I keep asking questions because you cannot clear until you get a yes. So if I say, can I clear? Do I need to know more? If it says you need to know more, then you need to know more. You cannot bypass your truth. Okay? I was shown this when I was trying to, right, become a millionaire, and God kept saying, nope. Nope. Right? Okay, so she needs to know the emotion. So in my advanced guide, you guys, I list all the emotions. I have all the charts. So this becomes so freaking easy. If she didn't need to know the emotion, she could have cleared it. But in this case, she needs to know the emotion, which makes sense because she might be carrying this emotion as if it's hers. This page, 51 through 60, 62. Worry. Are you a worry wart? Mimi. Worry is what your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was carrying. Worry, 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 worry. He passed that down to his dad. Worry, worry, worry. His dad. Worry, worry, worry. His dad. Okay? But that can now be cleared. So when you breathe unconditional love into that, release all the worry. Okay? It's not yours. Remember we said epigenetics, you can pass down fears, phobias, sicknesses, diseases. Yes, this guide will help with past life. That is one of my keys. Okay, that is my number 7 key. If you do not resonate with past life, that's not your language, then change the language. Change to what does that look like for you if you're an eternal being. Okay? And if that still doesn't resonate, then it's not time yet for this information. God will not give you a steak. He'll give you meat. He'll give you the milk first. So maybe you still need a little bit of milk before you get the meat. Mimi, this will get her to a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. She needs more keys. Yes. Okay. So Mimi, we cleared generational, worry. Now we're going to test what else? Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So you also absorbed someone's energy and took it on as your own. We need to know more. Yes. Mom, dad. You took on some of dad's energy. We need to know more. Yes. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, age 5, age 6. So at age 6, you took on something from dad. We need to know more. No. So Mimi, you took on something from your dad. Maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about. But when you breathe in unconditional love into this pain, breathe it out and send it back to your dad with love. Okay? It's not going to hurt him. If he's not living, it's going to go exactly where it needs to go. Okay? That's been cleared. Yes. This will get her to a 0. She needs more keys. Nope. So Mimi, so we're working for high bliss, kiss, Janny, Mimi, Jenny, and yielded. Okay? So we're waiting for them to get to their 0s. If they got to their 0s, let me know, you guys. And if I didn't see it, let me know. My big things are worry, doubting myself, but I always had a fear of not having enough. Yeah, that might not be yours. That might not be yours. So this course started on Monday, but you can enter this course anytime. You can enter this course anytime. But you'll want to get in, I would say, as soon as you can if you feel called. Are you muscle testing on your hands? So I couldn't figure out muscle testing the way most people do it. I think I'm special. So I learned, it's called Innerwise from Germany. It was the most easiest, foolproof. Jenny, still in pain, about a 6'10". So Jenny, remember that you carry this pain for years. And if you can just breathe into your breath of unconditional love and just allow your body to integrate at its own time. A lot of times we're so urgent to get the pain away that we almost like freeze up and we hold our breath and we like hold the pain like it's not going to go anywhere. Like we almost have like thoughts of like doubt. So I just want you to like relax and breathe. My spiritual mastery course, I go live every Monday. So we just module 1 was this week. Module 2 is next week. Once all the modules are out, it's an 8-week course. You will have access to all the modules for lifetime access. But I go live every single Monday, and then you have access to me within the community. So if you have a question, right, it is a sacred family. Monica, I see you guys. If I can't help you, you guys get my free guide. Okay, I'm not a savior. I'm not a healer. I teach you how to fish for yourself. 2. So a little bit of tough love. You guys, if I don't get to you, please do not be a victim and get stuck. Get the free guide and start reading this information. I give it to you for free. Yay! Tiger Lily. The course is $397, but I have a payment option for $36 a month. Janny, emotional sadness, but 5. Okay. So you went from a 10-10 to a 5, so that's good. Keep breathing unconditional love. Trust the emotions that come out. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. If you guys get stuck in your head, drop into your heart and breathe. So for those that are clearing, Mimi, how you doing, Mimi? Okay, who was my money block? Little Scholar. Little Scholar. Are you here? Little Scholar. Are you still here? Yes, okay. You ready? Okay. So if you have a money block or you've been dealing with scarcity. Oh yeah, so if you want to buy my free guide, I'll just hold on one second, Little Scholar. Click my picture, it'll bring up my profile. I have a link. That's my Stan Store. There you can get my free guide. If you want to learn how to do this on your own and do this for other people and have all the guides and test the efficiency of vitamins and minerals, if you want to learn how to unblock your money blocks, you guys, it's $27. If you want to join my spiritual mastery course, it's only $397. You're like, only? That's a ton. I spent over 10 years and over $15,000 in certifications in all of the top holistic programs out there. NLP, hypnosis, quantum healing hypnosis therapy, Reiki Master, Innerwise, Theta, Emotion Code, MAP, Breakthrough. There's a lot. So you're getting all of this in a very incredible community. Okay. So we're going to work on Little Scholar because you guys, you don't just use these 7 keys for pain. You use it for anything. You don't just use your yes and no for these keys. These keys help you get to the root quicker. So I have a money block. How many of you here are dealing with money block, scarcity? You're stuck in a 9-to-5 job you hate. Everything you do is hard work. What platform is it taught on? So it's on Stan. So all my stuff is on Stan. The modules are on Stan. We go live on a Zoom link. So how many of you are yes, yep? How many of you guys are dealing with money blocks right now? You guys are going to want to hear this because I'm going to blow your freaking mind. Yeah. 5 weeks behind on rent. I know what that feels like, right? Yes. Yes to money blocks. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. What if I told you that your money blocks might not even be your fault? They could be generational curses or hexes. They could be generational mom and dad. Okay, I didn't realize this, you guys, but I lived in a trailer park for a couple years when I was little. I had no clue, right? We're little kids, we don't care. My mom's worst fear is going back. And if you live in a trailer park, that's totally fine. Because one thing we have to realize is that your circumstance does not define your worth or your value. And I did that for years. Because I make this much money, I'm worth this much. The big fat zero. Because I drive a beater car, I'm worth nothing. Okay? A lot of us, we tie our worth and value to how much money is in our bank account. And that is a lie, because the truth is that not even all the money in the world equal your value. Not all the gold and the riches and the silver can put a flame to your worth. Ooh, I just got ear ringing. Look at the most rich people in the world, the corruption, how wicked and horrible. But there's also people with a lot of money doing really good things. So I'm not saying money equals evil. I'm just saying that your worth is not tied to your monetary value in your bank account. So yes, you can use the 7 keys. I used the 7 keys when I was stuck and I kept asking, do I have a money block that's generational? No, you cleared all that. Okay. Do I have a money block that's emotional? No, you've cleared all that. Okay. Do I have a past life money block or something karmic? Nope, that's been cleared. Do I have something spiritual like a hex or a curse on my bloodline? Nope, that's been cleared. Okay, did I absorb someone's energy about scarcity? Nope, that's been cleared. So then I had to work with the beliefs. So we know the big ones: fear of failure, fear of being seen. You guys, I had a fear of being seen. Now, I'm not saying this is for you, that's yours, but I'm saying when you have these keys, you can literally get to the root cause of it. So I tested, I had a fear of being seen, and I'm like, that's a lie. I'm a public speaker. I speak on stages to hundreds, thousands of people at a time. I'm a published author, right? I speak at church. I would speak on the pulpit. I have no fear of being seen. What do you think I was afraid of? I was afraid of being seen using and participating in my spiritual gifts. I was afraid to call myself a priestess and a goddess. I was afraid to say that God and Jesus and Heavenly Mother, I speak to them. I was afraid to say that I could heal myself and that you could heal yourself. I was afraid to speak truth. And the second that I stepped fully into that and claimed who I actually am, like fully claimed I have spiritual gifts, God has given me very specific keys that my voice activates people and awakens them to their truth. Guess what happened, you guys? I made $10,000 in 2 weeks helping people and serving people. And it was the most easiest, funnest way I've ever made money. Because I tell you what I did do before that. I worked my freaking ass off. Because I was taught you have to work hard for everything. When my mom left when I was a little girl, I was terrified that everyone's going to leave me. So what did I do? I made sure I worked. I've worked since I was 19 years old, 18 years. The second I moved out of the house, I had a full-time job, I had full responsibility, and nobody paid my bills, ever. Because of one little fear of being seen in my spiritual gifts. So right now, yes, Paraguay just joined. Right now, you are not receiving your financial abundance because there is something trapped in your body, and that is your truth, because we have been taught to silence our truth. And when you silence your truth, you have pain. And sometimes the pain is not being able to pay your freaking rent. Sometimes the pain is being homeless. But when you realize and you take accountability, you guys, the hardest thing is to take accountability and then step fully into it. So a little backstory, okay? I was born and raised in a very strict religious cult. So the things that I'm teaching or saying are literally blasphemy. And so I was terrified that if I spoke these words, that I would go to hell for all eternity. So these blocks that you're dealing with are very real, because there is fear of losing your family. There is fear of losing everything. And the second that I literally imagined myself losing everything, my house, my car, I mean, everything. I imagined myself just being on the streets with my husband and my kids, and I was free because I said to myself, I already won. Like, I've already won. If you took away my house and my car and everything, I already won. How did I know that I won? Because I knew my worth and my value. And when you know your worth and you know your value, and you don't care if what your family says or what anyone thinks of you, like, you become free. And that is true freedom. True freedom is being free of all the bull crap, not money in your bank account. Because once you're finally free, guess what shows up? Money. And somebody asked earlier, how do you teach these things? Do you teach them because you experience them? Yes, I teach them because I have experienced them. Personally, I know exactly what it feels like to have people in your family who are succeeding and they have the nice cars and the nice house, and you feel like second fiddle because you can't go on the trips, you can't go on the vacations, right? You shop at the thrift store. I will always shop at the thrift store no matter how much money I make. My husband hates that. But do you guys understand? I worked since I was 16, yeah. So, Little Scholar, I'm sorry. You've been sitting here, you're like waiting, but I needed to drop some truth bombs on you guys. So, Little Scholar, we're going to test for Little Scholar. So, first of all, you guys, do you know that you have a money cap? That the second you hit your money cap and you go over that, you're either going to blow the money or it's just going to disappear. Like, where did that money go? It's called nickel and diming. I did that too. So, Little Scholar, we need to know where your block is first, yes. So, Little Scholar can make 10K a year, 20K a year, 30K a year, 40, 50, 60. What's Little Scholar's cap? That's the right question. Okay. So first we're going to do with the keys. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Generational. So Little Scholar, you have something generationally that's preventing you from going to the next level. This was passed down through mom's side, through dad's side. How many generations back do we need to know? No. So we don't need to know, but that could be cleared. So little scholar, you don't have pain, but you have the pain of what it feels like to not hit your financial milestones. So what you're going to do is you're going to breathe an unconditional love to the pain that you're feeling because the money is not in your account. Does that make sense? And so when you breathe out, you're going to breathe that scarcity out of your body. Okay? So now we're going to ask the keys. There's more keys to this money block. Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. There's more generational. Mom's side, yes. So not only mom's side, but also dad's side. You guys, these keys, all you need is these 7 keys and how to get your yes and no. We need to know more. Nope. So you can clear that too. So you're clearing the generational money blocks from mom's line. You breathe in unconditional love into the scarcity or whatever your feeling is that's not good about money, and you're going to breathe that out. Okay? Little scholar has more blocks when it comes to generational. No, those have been cleared. Little scholar has another key tied to money. Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. More generational. Is that integrating? There's more to clear. Okay. You guys see, sometimes I go too fast, so I have to ask. Okay, physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Past life. Remember I told you you might have something past life that you can't just go make a ton of money because there's a lesson you need to learn. There's something past life preventing you from making money in this lifetime. Yes. Okay. You need to know more. Yes. So see, now you got to become an investigator. There's something past life. It's karmic. Karma from a past life into this one. Yes. There's more that you need to know. Can we clear that now? Yes. Okay. So there was something karma. Again, if you get a yes that you can clear, you don't need to know more. If you want to investigate and do a little past life regression and ask, you can, but you don't need to clear this. So, little scholar, you're going to breathe in unconditional love to whatever those beliefs are, and you're going to breathe them out because your body is ready to move that karma from past life. Okay? We're going to ask, there's another key tied to this money block. No. Those are cleared. Yes. Okay, so if those are cleared, that means if money does not start coming in, you then have to start asking, what are the beliefs? Do I have a belief about my worth? Do I have a belief about my value? Do I have a fear of being seen or heard? Does that make sense? Do you guys, you can know exactly what the root is of your block. So for you, little scholar, once these things have integrated, you can test your money capacity. So if you don't know how to do this, you guys can get my free guide. I teach you how to test a yes and no. But in my advanced intuitive testing guide, I teach you capacity and scale. So for me, I would ask you, little scholar, I would say, I am able to make more than 20K a year. If you get a no, that is your cap. You can ask, what is my financial cap? Okay, a lot of people talk, when they talk money, they talk about what you can hold, container capacity. That is true. So your body can only hold a certain amount of money before it goes into like fight or flight or regulation. So you have to start allowing your body to be regulated with more. Because if you have beliefs about money and being worthy and being fully seen, your body's going to keep you stuck there until you learn the lesson, because you're not going to bypass in this life. Does this make sense? So for your one-on-one calls, what is the purpose? Intense testing. It is whatever you feel called. So I've had one lady who had a specific illness that wanted clarification on testing. I had someone who wanted money block. I had someone who had questions about her business and her job. Okay, so it's what you feel like you need from me. But we will be doing some testing. Okay? So little scholar, you have cleared 3 things generationally from mom and dad and past life. So now that you did that, tomorrow I want you to read my free guide, or if you got my $27 guide, I want you to scale. I want you to ask, what is my capacity? If your guys' capacity, you guys, my capacity was stuck on like 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100. So I got my scale to go to 300,000. But I want my scale to be 100K a month. So that's what I'm working on, is 100K a month. But I ask myself, I ask and I can test to know exactly what my container is. And all you have to do is create a way for money to flow, and it'll show up. Money doesn't care if you're rich or poor or famous. It just wants to go where you want it to go. Money flows where you want it to go. So you have to know your purpose, your value, and the more value you create in your purpose, you guys, so this is my spiritual mastery course, you will know your purpose. You will know exactly what you were called to do on this earth, and then you will live in full alignment with that. Does that make sense? So I knew what my purpose was. I knew that I had specific spiritual gifts, that I was born to help women remember their worth, their divine worth. Because I've forgotten my divine worth because I had shame because of the sexual trauma, the physical trauma, the emotional trauma, the religious trauma. So I had to overcome that. So my message has always been to women, men and women, like, no matter what has been done to you or no matter what you've done, your worth is infinite. Like, you are so worthy. And so I was supposed to teach that, and I was supposed to teach that through my spiritual gifts. But I was so afraid of losing my family because the second I spoke my truth, guess what happened? I lost family members. Even Jesus Christ said, I am not known as a savior in my own community. Because people saw Jesus. I grew up with you, kid. Who do you think you are, a savior? Okay, it's in the scriptures. Jesus even said, like, people in his hometown did not see him as the savior. He saw him as that little wild 3-year-old or, crying 4-year-old or 16-year-old teenager little boy, or do you know what I mean? So you have to overcome the fear of being seen. You have to overcome the fear of losing family. And it's hard. It's not easy. Okay? You ask any person who has started or launched their own business or who stepped fully into their purpose, it's not easy because you literally have to destroy the old you to be born again and to step into the new you. And that's called the caterpillar to a butterfly. And you ask anyone who's literally been destroyed, who's gone through the goo to become the butterfly, if that's easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Okay? Money is a spiritual journey. Anyone who tells you it's not, or it's just wicked and evil, they're not willing to take accountability for their blocks. You're so welcome, Danette. Yeah, I've had the most incredible mentors and teachers and educators who spoke truth to my soul and gave me permission to step fully into my gifts because they showed me the way. So I'm a light and I'm shining the path for people who are meant to come on board with me. And you, I'm telling you, if you're watching this, you are meant to shine your light. Stop putting your talents in the dirt and burying them. Okay, you're meant to awaken your spiritual gifts. You're meant to awaken your purpose. You have a purpose here on earth, and it's very specific. You hold very specific keys in healing in your voice. Like, do you recognize your voice as an activation of healing just by speaking your truth? It gives people permission to heal, and it heals. So, you guys, we have helped. How is Mimi and Janny and High Bliss Kiss doing? Yes. You guys, I feel so bad, you guys. So my loves that I've been working on, Janny's at a 3. Freaking heck yes, Janny. I'm going to pin her comment. Janny is at a 3. She was at a 10-10 not too long ago. At a 3. I did not heal her. Slowly better. Okay, Jenny, Jenny, slowly better. Okay, that's good. Let me know what number you're at though, Jenny, because I know you were kind of stuck at a 5. Did it go down a little bit, or are you still kind of at like a 4 now? Oh, little scholar, good. I feel so good right now. I wasn't in physical pain, but I was mentally. Yeah. How to get your guide. Yeah, so click my picture here, and then you'll see my picture again. And then when you click on my picture again, it'll send you to my profile. And then you'll see my free guide, my $27 guide, and then my $397 course. Mimi, how are you doing? Probably a 4. Okay, good, Jenny. So Jenny, you just need to breathe and trust that it's coming and integrating perfectly. There's no rush. There's no rush. Oh, how did I get my intuitive testing? So I learned through Innerwise in Germany. They tried to bring it here to the US, but people were just not ready. So it's all in German. And it is the fastest, simplest, easiest way to test. Like, so I was so mad because it was so stupid easy. And I'm like, what? 10 years and like $15,000 in certifications for this simple, easy system. Can I do this myself? 100, yes. That is why I teach this, because you can't do this yourself. I do not heal anyone. I do not treat anyone. Okay, Danette, so that is what I teach in my free guide. That takes way too long for me because, right, you got to get a yes and a no. This, it's in seconds. So you know how I like test for everyone? It's like literally in seconds. But Danette, if that works for you, but if you're getting tired of like constantly having to use your entire body to get a yes or no, this works in seconds. But thank you for asking. Does that make sense, you guys? So I get to message when I click on your picture. Can I send? So click on this picture and then this picture, not the profile, and it'll send you to my profile. So when you see my picture in all my videos, that's where you'll see my Stan Store link. Okay, so that's in the book too, the one you do. So the one I do that I'm showing you here is in my Advanced Intuitive Testing Guide. That's $27. Is this like an activation? No, I'm just teaching the 7 keys for free. Yay, hi Bliss Kiss. What's your number at, love? So let us know in numbers because we can resonate with numbers. Okay, perfect, Danette. Yeah, so you will learn the fast system and you're going to freak out when you see how quick it is. It's so, so fast and simple. And then come on here. Okay, High Bliss Kiss is at a 4. She needs another key. Nope. So you will get to a 0, love. Just keep breathing and trusting that. I love that. Yes, Jenny said thank you so much and everyone for sending love. Yes, thank you for the balloons. All right, guys, so we cleared, or we helped hold sacred space for High Bliss Kiss, Jenny, Mimi, Little Scholar, Nay, Tiger Lily, Don't Stop Believing, As Sunrise, Lizzie, Yielded, and Jenny with the Jenny. Okay, so I was able to hold sacred space and teach them the keys to get their pain down from a 10-10. So High Bliss, and you guys who are kind of stuck at a 4 right now, let us know tomorrow on our next live if you're on, so that we can all just support you and send you so much love. So for you guys who have just joined, you can get my free guide. There's a link in my bio. Okay, I teach you all these keys for free. Just knowing these keys took me over 10 years and $15,000 of certifications to learn. In my $27 guide, I teach you exactly how to do what I did on this live to help all these people. Like there's 3 pages. Okay? To test in seconds, to get to the root in seconds, so that you stop silencing your truth. You also get all the charts. So tomorrow I'm not sure because we have our masterclass Zoom call tomorrow at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So I think tomorrow I'm just going to come on in the evening time. The guide does download instantly. Check your spam because some people have said it went to spam. If you try to open it on your computer and you have an older system, this is a PDF. Sometimes it doesn't open on older systems, but it will open on your phone. Okay? If you guys want to join the Spiritual Mastery class, you can join anytime, but we are going live through this first 8 weeks. But you'll have lifetime access to the modules, the course, Yeah, Danette got hers right away. If you can't join the Spiritual Mastery course right now, join when you're ready. Join when you're ready. Okay, I do have a payment plan. It's $35 a month. Perfect. Yes. So you guys, in my free guide, I also have a free Live Empowered course. Take that. It's incredible. I have a free Live Empowered course. I teach you breakthrough. Like, everything I teach is so much. Yay, Lily. I'm ready. Let's do this. Yes, Lisa. You guys are so welcome. All right, it's 1 minute to midnight, so I've been on a half hour longer than I told my husband I would be. So I love you guys so much. Make sure you're following me. Okay, do not lose me. Do not lose me, so that if you haven't gotten the free guide yet or you need a little bit more time, you know where to find me. Okay? And when you're ready, get the $27 guide or join the Spiritual Mastery course. Okay? I'm here for you when you're ready. I'm so excited to speak truth. Now, for you guys who got the free guide, do not keep it to yourself. Share. If you know someone's sick or struggling or has pain or chronic inflammation or anxiety or depression, send them my free guide. Let them know that there's a free Live Empowered course, okay? It's life-changing. Share it with as many people as you want, okay? All right, you guys, have the most wonderful night. Yay, Heart and Sandra, I'm so glad you got it. Okay, bye, love. See you tomorrow night if you decide to jump on.